Danfo offers unparalleled, curated and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thanks so much for joining. Hit that like button and please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. It's Friday Eve, y'all. It is Friday Eve. Looking forward to the weekend. Well, I'm always looking forward to the weekend, even though for the most part I work. I'm busy on the weekends. You know, there's really no days off, no time off. But you know, that's part of being an entrepreneur. You know, it is what it is. But guys, hit the like button and please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Got a couple of announcements. We are rolling to Cape Town. Supposed to be rolling to Cape Town. That is March 25th through April 2nd. March 25th through April 2nd. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo.Africa. We are also rolling to Senegal in May for the Jazz Festival, the St. Louis Jazz Festival. That is May 9th through the 18th. Then we're going to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. That's August 2nd to the 11th. Then we're going to Zanzibar in September. Looking forward to that. September 20th to the 29th for Safari Blue. Then we're hitting up Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Sierra Leone in November. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo.Africa. Again, if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo.Africa to learn more. Let's jump into today's topic. You know, let's start off from the beginning. So I'm gonna play a couple news segments to kind of fill you guys in regards to what's been going on for the most part with the AES. All right. So the foundation of the AES, which is Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, they're kicking out the French. But today we're gonna focus on Niger. So we're gonna start off with Niger demanding that the French leave, get the hell on out of Niger. So the diplomat who was in Niger, the French ambassador who was in Niger, he got kicked out. And then there's just been a lot of accusations from the junta, or I hate using the term junta, but from the Niger government saying that France is trying to sabotage them. You know, a couple weeks ago, there was an attack on the airport in Niamey, which I've landed at that airport. So I was in Lomé and I was going to Paris. So I went from Lomé This was flying Air France. So flew from Lomé to Niger, Niamey, had a short layover. Then we went to Paris. And so I landed at the airport before. So the airport was attacked a couple weeks ago. And now Niger, the leadership saying, hey, we about to go to war with France. Get ready, y'all. So I just wonder how that looks like. I mean, are there going to be boots on the ground in France? Are they preparing the citizens that listen? France is coming to us. Y'all be prepared to fight. I just wonder how that looks like. So, but let's start playing some news segments to really get you guys caught up in regards to what's going on with Niger and then in France, that beef. And then we'll open up the lines. You guys will call in, and you know how we roll, guys. You know how we roll. N-word tariff. N-word tariff is on. So, guys, if you say the N-word, that's a fine. Again, if you say the N-word, that's a fine. Okay? So we're getting back to that. I've been slacking on that. Fair use, BBC News, Africa, fair use. Let's jump into it.
Driving across Niger, the countryside appears peaceful. But despite the veneer of normality, this is one of the 10 deadliest countries in the world for terrorism.
And we've been speaking on that. So there's still a lot of shout out to the AES. Listen, shout out to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger for saying, "Hey, we're going to take our own destiny. We're going to take it in our own hands, and we're going to move on our own." Shout out to them, but there's still a lot of instability, specifically outside of the capital city. So, with Ouagadougou, you go outside Ouagadougou, there could be problems. Outside of Niamey, there could be problems. I know for a fact, outside of Bamako, you go north of Ségou, you're going to have problems. So what needs to happen is they need to find a way to secure the entire country. And that's what needs to happen. But let's continue.
In Niamey, pro-junta protesters have been camped outside a French military base for weeks. They say the French have failed to stop the terror attacks.
Every Friday since the military transition in this country, Friday prayers have been held here, right outside the French military base. Hundreds of people are in attendance. And in today's sermon, the Imam was preaching patience, saying that in a divorce between a man and a woman, things take time. Similarly, he says, Niger is divorcing France, and that's going to take time.
For the Imam, perceived French hypocrisy is to blame for the anger here.
Why is Emmanuel Macron now saying he doesn't recognize our authorities when he's recognized juntas in other countries like Gabon and Chad? That's what has made us angry, and we think France takes us for idiots.
The junta has seized on historical resentment of the French to argue Niger can go it alone. I asked the newly appointed governor of Niamey whether the junta can keep his country safe from terrorists.
Le Niger a toujours assuré la sécurité de cette population.
He replies that Nigerian forces have always ensured the safety of their people and can defend their country without foreign partners. But those opposed to the coup believe the departure of French troops could be dangerous.
In the fight against the terrorists, France is a key partner that provides most of the intelligence that helps us beat the terrorists trying to attack Niger.
But many Nigerians are frustrated with the lack of progress when it comes to the war on terror. Adama is originally from Tillaberi, one of the regions worst affected by jihadi violence.
J'ai le cousin de ma maman.
She tells me her mother's cousin, a village chief, was assassinated by terrorists 7 months ago. They killed him by slitting his throat. She doesn't believe the French have successfully reduced terrorism in the Sahel. There has been some progress in the fight against extremism. Last year, terror-related deaths in Niger fell by 79%. No one critical of the junta will speak to us on the record, and the military follow our every move. So it's unclear what proportion of the...
And see, this is another issue I have. And I know people are going to disagree, but the amount of censorship, I don't support that. I don't agree with that. I support freedom of speech. If you disagree with the junta, I think you should be able to speak out. But people are afraid in regards to speaking out and giving their opinion on the junta because they might make you disappear. So I disagree with that.
Population wants the French to stay. But as France loses its last base in the Sahel, its influence in the region has been dealt a blow.
Then let's speed up to the attack that took place a couple weeks ago at the airport in Niamey, in the capital city, which Niger said Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, and France was involved. But France is saying that they had nothing to do with that.
After a deadly attack on the capital's airport, Niger's junta leader launches a counter-offensive, not on the battlefield, but on national television. In a lengthy interview, Abdurrahman Chiani accuses the former ally and colonial power France of orchestrating the assault, saying the operation was months in the making and was directed from Paris.
The airport attack is part of a deliberate agenda of destabilization from France. Before leaving, Macron made a commitment that he would do everything to overthrow the Niger's regime, a regime that dared to choose the path of independence.
France has rejected the accusation outright. The French military says there is no French intervention in Niger. After the airport attack, the Sahel's ISIL affiliate released this video. It appears to show ISIL fighters storming the airport. An assault that appears to have taken Niger's junta and Russian fighters stationed inside by surprise. And so the claim of responsibility by ISIL has raised questions about why the junta is accusing France. Inside the airport compound lies 1,300 tons of uranium valued at around $250 million.
Oh, wow.
Niger says it intends to sell it to Russia and Iran. But French nuclear group Orano says the uranium belongs to it and has taken the matter to court. For more than 50 years, France sourced the so-called yellow cake to fuel its nuclear power plants. That partnership ended when the junta cut ties in 2023.
We are not naive. We know the hostile forces facing us. The attack is part of a broader process carried out by neo-colonial forces, particularly French forces, through their various branches.
And so, in a poor country rich in resources, it is a message that taps into popular anger towards the former colonial power. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera.
Don't miss out and get...
All right, then let's speed up to a few days ago where Niger declared war against France. Guys, again, hit that like button. Please hit that like button. I'll put the link in the chat room where you guys could call in and add to the conversation.
Hey, Kweku, I saw you clearly with that girl, so forget about the cousin stories. After all, my
The military government of Niger has officially decreed a general mobilization of its citizens, preparing the nation for a potential armed conflict with France. Brigadier General Ibru Amaru Basharu, Chief of Staff to the President, announced the move before a massive crowd in Niamey, accusing the French government of fomenting insecurity to reclaim control over Niger's uranium wealth. More in this report from Carlo de la Peña.
A sea of protesters gathered in the heart of Niamey this Wednesday as the rhetoric between Niger and its former colonial ruler reached a fever pitch. Brigadier General Ibru Amadou Basharu delivered a fiery address confirming that a decree for a general mobilization has been signed by President Abderrahmane Tiani. The military leadership insists that France is actively sabotaging the nation's security and economy following Niger's recent nationalization of the Somaïr uranium mine, a move that ended decades of French industrial dominance in the region.
Et pour appeler le chat, tout ce qui se passe aujourd'hui et tout ce que vous voyez aujourd'hui qui nous amène dans cette insécurité, c'est causé par la France. Cette même France qui a considéré que nous ne sommes pas des gens avec lesquels il faut discuter, nous ne sommes pas des gens qui soient rentrés dans l'histoire, nous sommes des pauvres, mais aujourd'hui on se rend compte qui est pauvre entre nous et eux. Pas plus tard qu'avant-hier, un des petits-fils de Lord de Gaulle est sorti aussi pour dire que la France est mal gérée et que ça ne va pas, Macron a tout foutu en l'air. Eh bien, cette mobilisation-là, il faut que vous le compreniez. Elle est faite, elle est décrétée afin qu'on se prépare pour la guerre. Mobilisez-vous, mobilisez-vous, soyez à l'écoute.
General Ibro's speech specifically targeted French President Emmanuel Macron, claiming that even the descendants of Charles de Gaulle have criticized the current administration for ruining France's standing. The military council, known as the CNSP, has repeatedly accused Paris of backing insurgent groups to destabilize the Sahel Alliance, or AES. France has denied any plans for military intervention, but the expulsion of French forces and the planned abandonment of the CFA franc suggest that the diplomatic break is now permanent. While the general encouraged students to stay in school, his message was clear. Education must now serve the defense of the state. As Niger turns toward new international partners and away from its traditional European ties, the threat of war has moved from abstract political rhetoric to an official state mandate. For the people of Niamey, the mobilization marks a final defiance against what they call the prosperity built in our...
All right, Afro Man, go ahead. Let me meet you. What does this mobilization look like? Yeah, I'm here. What does this mobilization look like, Afro Man? What are your thoughts on that?
Hello. You know what? First of all, good evening, good afternoon to your listeners and your viewers. You know, I'm not really, or let me say it this way, I'm on the fence when it comes to these three Sahelian regimes, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And it's interesting to me that not only is Niger cracking down on dissent and free speech, but of course, I think you know that even Burkina Faso has also now, I think they have banished or banned political parties. And so there's only one party or one political force right now in Burkina Faso. When I heard that they were mobilizing for war, a few things came up. Now, of course, Niger is blaming France for the attack. Supposedly, they wanted to get back their uranium ore. And anybody who knows what's going on in Niger will know that there are so many people who would love to get their hands on that particular ore. I mean, it's worth millions and millions of dollars. The Islamic insurgents would love to get their hands on it, to sell it on the open market, to finance their jihad or Islamic extremism. You have other opposition elements in Niger who would also like to get their hands on it. Okay, it's basically an attractive piece of resource that was lying up in the, or lying for anybody's take. And so to blame it on France, to me, it seems the regime in Niger, may want to kind of increase opposition against France. They want to solidify support for, of course, the regime. It could also be to distract people away from the economic hardships in Niger. And I'm not holding brief for France. I'm just saying.
Afro man, where are you from originally?
I'm from Ghana.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm not holding brief for France, but I'm a bit skeptical about the regimes. I have not been like many people in West Africa who have joined the bandwagon and claiming that Traore is a hero and he's doing all of these magnificent things. I think 90% of what has been written about Traore and the AES has been basically propaganda. And if it is not propaganda, then of course, I'm hoping and wishing that what they are doing is actually going to lead to economic prosperity. But I think what is happening in Niger is an attempt to distract the people of Niger from what is actually happening in terms of their economic hardship. And you want to create this boogeyman of France intervening and interfering in the affairs of Niger, when it's really maybe Islamic opponents that are trying to get their hands on the ore and not France. So that's what I'll say for now.
Okay, go ahead, Ngolo.
Oh yeah, first off, greetings to you, brother. Thank you for having a platform. I'm glad that Niger is doing this. I'm glad that they're asserting themselves. I don't really like the outward, really aggression. Just as far as like articulating it. I think it needs to be more covert. In terms of saying your militaristic stance, I think you need to play I think Ibrahim Traore is doing it perfectly. Play the diplomatic role in public, but behind the scenes, make all your militaristic advances. Because we know France and just the West's posture in regards to how they operate. France is of course going to deny any direct involvement in destabilization, but we all know that this is just the run-of-the-mill playbook that they use. The fact that there's any black people or quote Africans that come on here trying to just trying to prop up France or try to make it seem like they're anything other than an opponent or oppositional force. It's so annoying, man. Like our people they irritate. Like it's just so irritating our people, bro. Like it's like we like being slaves. And then you try to just justify anything that the opposition does. Like it makes no sense to me. I really don't understand. I can't understand it. I can't put myself in their shoes to why they think like this. But yeah, I fully support the AES so far. What I see them doing, they haven't done anything that's gonna make me give them any side eye. Of course, there's always going to be a percentage or probability that they could have some type of ulterior motive. But for most of these sellout black people, that's going to be the default setting, because anytime somebody asserts power and it goes against the things that they've been programmed to go with, quote unquote, democracy, they're going to be all up in the fist, man. But I'll let somebody else speak.
All right, go ahead, Africa.
Yeah, greetings, Ines. I hope the body's fine.
Oh, body's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, wicked. Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm so happy the way you started off today. You kick off the show. Number one, people should be respectful, because if you respect yourself, you always gonna respect others. That's really important point. and also, people should stop popping up. They're doing a good job. Okay, I'm just gonna be personal about it. I used to be very skeptical about the AES. Okay, because someone that have a bit of education in their life, they don't tend to rush. When they make decision, they tend to, stay away from the emotional side of it and look at the reality. And as time goes on, I'm more leaning to them. Okay, but what I do not like is when people, actually, start hounding you because you have an objection or there's something you don't like about what the person is doing or what these leaders are doing. In fact, AES is not just Traore. Traore is just one of them. Okay, you got Asimi Goita, you got Chiani, and you got Traore. I think if one of them fall, the rest of them will fall. So people should stop being this psychophancy and like the man is God. You cannot say anything wrong about him. If he does wrong, because this is how we prop up dictators in the continent. A lot of people that come here and talk about these things, they never lived under dictatorship. They never lived under a military coup. They never witnessed a military coup. They never ever been in a war zone. Okay, and these are the sort of people that these are the people that want me to listen to them. They never had a personal experience. They don't even have a family member who actually is been involved in these wars in the Sahel. And they want you to just, because they go online, they listen to different people, they want you to believe what they say and follow them. No, I'm not. I am my own person. I will follow what I think is right, and that's how I was brought up. And what I think is wrong, I will call it out. And we wish Africa to be the best, for everybody, because this is our home, and we have ancestors that fought throughout history, and we can name them, we can account, we can actually give you time and date and places where we actually have resisted, outsiders. This is nothing new. So people should have some respect when they speak about West African history and West Africa when they're speaking to West African people who have probably have direct or indirect connection to the issues that's going on as we speak. I'll pass the mic for now, Dennis.
All right, go ahead, V.
Oh, hi, good evening or good day, everybody. And hi, Dennis.
Hello.
Yeah, as regarding what you're saying about the AES, and I think it's a bit early for people to have any, conclusive judgment on them. And considering where they were as a nation, the turmoil that they were in, they're not doing bad. They're doing okay. They've only been there, say, 3 years max, even less in Niger's case. And considering where they were, they're doing okay. Regarding the France issue, I don't think Niger is whipping up any sentiment against France. If you look at their history, what this colonialism has done to them, the stealing of their resources for next to nothing, and you have a nation, all these three nations are very rich in resources, just like the whole of West Africa is. And the people were literally living hand to mouth. Sometimes people don't want to, particularly West Africans, we like to bury our head in the sand. Used to have Mal and people from Burkina at the height of the difficulty that Burkina was having. You used to have a lot of Burkina women and children coming down south, particularly in Ghana, and hanging around on the streets begging. Literally begging.
V, a couple years ago, they had actually closed the border between Burkina Faso and Ghana. A couple years ago.
Was it? Yeah, it was. The previous government have a lot of issues that they were struggling with, and they were doing a lot of funny things. I don't want to go there. And I think that brought a little bit of tension between the previous government and Traore, because they were having a lot of food insecurities in Burkina. And Burkina Faso, if everything is going well, they are very good at farming. And they're like a breadbasket for quite a lot of southern states, Ghana included. They used to bring a lot of food. They still do. And during the time where they were really, they were not in control of their territory at all, they couldn't farm. So they were coming to northern Ghana to purchase food. And it was easier for the farmers in Ghana to send the food. They were buying the food. They were not coming for free. They were buying it to send the food up to Burkina than bring it down south. So made food cost very expensive south. So the government was doing this, trying to stop the food moving to Burkina, which Burkina got very upset that look at the difficulty we're in and we're coming in there for a little bit of food and you're trying to, it costs a lot. And that's what I think they had an issue at the border. But let me go on to Niger or the AES and the stealing of their resources and, leaving people so destitute that they were literally, women and children are hanging around, coming down on the street to beg to exist. Now, if you have, and under this context, if you have anybody that comes to you and tell you that I will do my best to make your life better, what would you do? Would you discard them? And so, okay, well, they are abusing human rights. All the democratic dispensation down in West Africa are abusing human rights. Look at Patrice Talon, what he's done. He's effectively made himself a president for life. Same goes to Togo. I don't know what the hell is going on in Nigeria because at the end of the day, Nigerians don't even believe in their elections. Ghana, we just had a new government coming and God knows what's going to happen. I don't know. Look at Ivoria, what is happening there. This man came in, he said, oh, I'm going to stop all this abuse of political power and democratic power. And how long has it been? 20 years. He has changed the constitution literally to stay in government. That's Al-Hassan Ouattara for you, right? And because of what he has done and the oppression that he did, that's still going on, you have about 2 million Ivorians that have left their country under democratic dispensation seeking asylum all over the place, including Ghana. We have Ivorians in Ghana seeking asylum in Ghana. Let's not bury our head in the sand. And let's not play this game that these people are military rules, so they're going to do something untoward or they're going to be any worse than what we have under these so-called democracies that we have. We do not have democracy in Africa. Not fully functioning democracy anyway. There is a situation whereby you have elites that have hijacked power under these bogus fake democracies. And then if this party wins, they're all in cahoot together, they look after each other, and the next minute the people will get fed up and they vote for another party and the same thing, and the cycle continue. So to me, if these people, I wish them the best, because where they were coming from and where they are now, Mali recently has had a lot of successes against all these people that they are terrorizing them, right? Now, if they can even make the people's life better, say 30% from where they were, I believe they're doing well. And we shouldn't be hung on so much saying that, we want democracy. Democracy at what cost? Democracy for what? Democracy with no development. Democracy with people struggling. Democracy with people not being able to feed themselves. Democracy with people not being able to get more. Some people even struggle to get 1 meal a day. For crying out loud, we have to look at our situation in that region and see what is going on and what can we do to make things better, instead of just sitting there and always hoping and praying that these people, that's what we do very well over there, both the Christians and the Muslims. We pray till kingdom come. Every day we are praying. Either Sunday they're in the Christians are in the church or the Muslims are in the mosque. That's all we do down in our West Africa there. Prayer, everything pray. We pray that these people, our saviors, will come back again to save us. These people that we've been dealing with, say about 500 years, look in history, what have we gained? And do you think another few years with them is going to get any better? You have been dealing with these people 500 years, 500 years since they came to the Guinea coast. And look at the turmoil, the history that has gone on with them being there. For crying out loud, we need to start doing something different. We need to have a change. And this idea that some people want somebody to come from somewhere to tell them how to run their country, and basically that is what's going on with those so-called democracies. The
military is different.
What did you say?
I'm asking, do you think the military is something? Is the military that is a military rule different in West Africa?
as I said, they've just come in. They've only been there 3 years. Mali, Niger is even less than 3 years. We have to wait and see. But so far, they're not doing anything for me to be so worried. I mean, at the beginning, I didn't even know what they were about, when they came in, I just, there we go, another military coup. But as time went on and I started studying and watching, I said, well, maybe these guys want taking a different approach and we need to give them a chance. Because you have to understand that sometimes there's a dictator, there's out and out dictator, whereby they just go out and with a hammer smashing everybody and doing all sorts of things. And there's also benevolent dictatorship. Now, I see these guys as a benevolent dictatorship in a sense that they want to get things right. They want to get things better, you see, and they've just started. So we should give them a chance and see what happens, because what is going on with the others ain't any good either. That's what I'm trying to say. The so-called democracies they're not good. So if these people are doing something different, and it might, I'm hoping, and I pray for them, that it gets better, I don't have any issue, to be honest, because the dictatorship, the democracies, I haven't seen any development, I really haven't. We have a situation whereby our roads are still dirt road, our hospitals are not resourced, our schools are in a mess. Come on now, what the hell is going on? Let somebody else take over, because otherwise you talk and talk and talk.
Guys, hit the like button again. Please hit that like button if you want to call in. Click on the link. But please, if you have not hit the like button, that is your ticket for. That's your cost for entry. Hit the like button. All right, go ahead.
In regards to the people being skeptical of military, quote unquote, I guess that what they would term as dictatorships or military authoritarianism. I mean, you would have to analyze each specific occurrence and then juxtapose that to what's going on now. I think just having a blanket skepticism based upon past events, which that would be reasonable to do, but again, you have to juxtapose that to what's going on now. We as Black people globally have radical problems, so you can't approach radical problems with just basic solutions. You need radical solutions to alleviate radical problems and to create the systems that are going to alleviate them. So I think that us trying to take this approach that we can approach our problems with the same level of, and it wouldn't even be the same level, because when other nations were in similar predicaments, they use the same radical solutions. I think that us being influenced by these, because a lot of us are in these countries where it's, I guess, democratically ruled per se. A lot of us are in the UK, governed by the United States, so we view their way of doing things as, I guess, as efficient or it runs well. But completely negating what they do to obtain it, which we all know this, which to me, it confuses me of why people just, it looks like they just ignore it. But I just
Do
think
you
that
live in West Africa?
no, I don't live in West Africa.
Okay.
I know, I see that as a common I guess sentiment in regards to that being that trying to be something that if you're analyzing any situation, again, you juxtapose that to past military rulerships and dictatorships that were not benevolent. And we're talking about the United States and France, the same United States that went over and destabilized Mossadegh, a democratically elected leader, imposed a tyrant because he went with their agenda. They don't care about what the well-being of the people. It's all about their interests. So that we all know this. We all should know this. So again, majority of the people have this skepticism. I don't really know where it's coming from in regards to these specific dynamics that are occurring right now with Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso.
It's actually based on sound historical evaluation of our past. Okay. Now, I don't think anybody here who is on this call or this particular live is holding brief for the US, France, or even Russia. Okay. Everybody here, at least to the best of my knowledge, has some element of Pan-Africanism in them. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be on this live. Okay. But this is not the first time that We have
No,
had
but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like for like, juxtapose what's happened in the past with those military dictators or what's occurring now. That's the point. I'm not saying that you wouldn't be reasonable to be skeptical, but I'm saying what within the current dynamics that are occurring right now are similar to the ones where there was straight on military authoritarianism when it wasn't benevolent.
That is what I'm
draw those parallels.
Okay.
No, you're both making a good point, right?
Is
you're both
leading region in Africa that has had the highest number of coup d'etats. So we are experts on this. Okay. Now,
thank you.
Slogans, and philosophical gymnastics.
Again, it's not about slogans and philosophical. I asked you a question. Juxtapose what's going on right now to ones that occurred in the past. It's not about slogans. It's not about me being on the ground. I'm just as versed in the history as you are, brother. So again, like I said, give me the dynamics that are occurring now and juxtapose that to the ones that were authoritarian, were autocratic and dictators. Say that. It's not about slogans and all the other stuff. Get to juxtapose the dynamics. Brother, do that.
Can I speak, you guys? Yeah. Can I speak? I just got on the panel.
Okay.
Of course you can.
Okay, so let me chime in here. I think the topic is Niger going to war with France. Now, let me say this first, right? Within the black community, I mean, whether it's the continental African or the diasporan African, what we usually encounter are pessimists, right? And oftentimes a black pessimist can stop the struggle, right? Like imagine if Harriet Tubman had listened to one of those pessimists that was like, man, no, y'all ain't gonna do that, this gonna happen. And if you do that, this gonna happen. Or imagine if Kwame Nkrumah would have listened to the pessimist, man, if you do this, this gonna happen and this gonna happen. Or if Marcus Garvey listened to the pessimist, if you do this, this gonna happen, this gonna happen. Bro, we understand the possibilities, right? It's all about risk. This world is all about risk. It's about the risk that you are willing to take and the price that you are willing to pay for taking that risk. The AES, I've said this time and again, are on a will to power. A will to power. And if that means going to war and facing the imperialists head on, then I support them unconditionally. And it won't be the first time that black people done put belt to ass to the French. If you see what happened in Haiti, and with all the odds against them, imagine if L'Ouverture and Dessalines and Mackendale and them had listened to the pessimist, right? Oh, if you do this, you're gonna kill you. They're gonna yada yada. But then they put belt to ass in Napoleon, right? We need to be supporting these black people who are planning on or planning to take the imperialists head on, despite the odds that are against them. Because when God is with you, when right is with you, when the ancestors are with you, black people are able to do amazing things. And like Dr. Amos Wilson teaches us, who is my greatest teacher, Amos Wilson teaches us that when the intentionality of black people are aligned in one, and when we are aimed for one goal, we tend to do things that are impossible. I say this all the time. Back in Egypt, I mean, we look at the pyramids and people don't know how that was made because black people was using math and science for their own interests, for their own intentionality. You look at the Citadel Lafayette in Haiti, and Henri Christophe and them black brothers were using science and math for their own interests to protect themselves from the French. And there and behold, they create a structure that nobody understands how they were able to build without the resources that they had. So we can do that in the 1800s. Niger is well prepared to kick France's ass for constantly trying to colonize them. Black people got to get out of this pessimist state. And like the brother said, especially these Western Africans, we got to stop thinking that democracy and the democracy that we enjoy in the West is more superior to some other kind of political system that's made particularly for black people. You know, brother, hold on, brother, shut up, bro. God damn. Just shut up and let me finish. Bro, I don't give a fuck where I live. I'm black. It don't matter, bro. So could you shut up and stop interrupting me? You know what I'm saying? I don't have to live in West Africa, brother. Hey, bro, could you shut up?
Brother, that's finna be their whole. That's finna be their whole.
Exactly. You don't live in West Africa. Shut up, nigga. I'm black.
That's finna be
it don't
their
matter,
whole
bro.
thing, the
You see
entire
what I'm saying?
time, bro.
Whether I'm in West Africa,
we gotta get down there.
Hold on, brother. Let me finish it. Let me land right here, brother. And I respect you. I respect you, brother. I respect the other brother too, but he just interrupted me. You know what I'm saying? So, like I was saying, bro, it don't matter where your feet stand on this world. You a black person, and the same forces that affect the West African are the same forces that affect the East African, are the same forces that affect the black North African, and are the same forces that affect the diasporan African. It don't matter, bro, where you live at. You just facing it from a different perspective. You got to get out of this damn tribalistic mindset. Go fuck where you live at. As long as you black, you facing the same damn issues.
I agree with that. I agree with you, Skywalker. And also, we don't have democracy in Africa, really. To be honest, even in the world today that we're living in, we don't have democracy. We have autocrats. That's the thing. We have autocrats. Democracy hardly exists. I mean, look at America today. Look at the UK, for example.
And let me say this, brother. And let me say this about democracy. Let me say this about democracy. The word democracy, right? Okay, so it comes from first of all, the word demo itself is a compound word. D, which is the Latin prefix that means to subtract, and mo, which is another Latin prefix that means motion. So demo literally means the subtraction of motion. And even when you look at the word demo, the way that it's used in the English language, demo has never, can I finish? Demo has never connotated a positive word. That's where you get words like demoralize, demodify, demobilize, right? So demo is not a positive word. Kratos just means power.
Demos means people. Stop lying.
No. Demos means people in Greek, you asshole, not in Latin. So like I said, and like I said, even he's stupid, right?
He thinks he's so intelligent. He's an idiot.
He thinks he's so intelligent, right? You know what I'm saying? You're an idiot, bro. And like I was saying, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, shut him down real quick, right? Shut him down real quick. But anyway, like I said. So like I said, when you look at the context of that word demo and the way that it's used in the English language, it never connotates a positive meaning. And if we had a superior understanding of this language that we speak, which we do not, because this is not the language of our ancestors, we are under the control of the English language. We don't use it. The purpose of language is to control one's mind, and to communicate is only a second product of it. So don't get confused and think that communication is the main purpose of language. The main purpose of language is to control, which is why once you invade a land, when you invade a people, the invasion doesn't stop there. If white people had only invaded Africa and allowed us to speak our languages and didn't invade our minds by forcing us to speak their languages, then the invasion would not have been successful. You invade the mind, then you invade the mind by forcing them to speak your language, and that way you have a channel into their mind to influence their thoughts. I mean, think about it. If black people didn't understand rap music, if we didn't speak the same language that the rapper was speaking, then we wouldn't be influenced to go kill each other, right? If I go to China and try to convince a Chinaman who doesn't speak English that he should grill rice instead of fried rice, what I'm saying to him is not going to penetrate his mind because he doesn't understand me. So language is a kind of bastion that protects one's mind from the influence of outsiders. So the fact that we speak another's language allows us to be controlled and influenced by third parties who do not have our interest at heart.
All right, let me pass the mic to Jago. Hold on. Go ahead, Jago.
Thank you very much, and good evening to the panel and to the listeners. And Dennis, very intriguing today's conversation, which I would like to thank you for the platform. Now, guys, I would first like to thank the last speaker. I think it's Skylar. Is that correct? The last speaker. And I would like also to thank V.
That's Skywalker, brother.
Skywalker, thank you very much. And V for two very intelligent, intellectual, and well-meaning comments in this discussion. I think we need to take note of those who are speaking sense so that we can disqualify those who speak nonsense. It's very important in our discussions. I'll begin like this. Democracy. Them all crazy. This is a song by Fela back in the day, speaking about democracy. and speaking that it's actually evident that this democracy is the people are crazy, and that is the instruction of what democracy brings. Now, that is arguable. I don't know if it's wrong or right, but it's a strong point, and it should bring us to thinking. And when I speak about thinking, why I liked Skywalker's analogy on many things is language. Language is a weapon that is used in war. You have things such as propaganda that is put forward through language. It forces and creates our thinking. Many times we think that we have original thoughts, but it's hardly that we have original thoughts anymore, because all we do is share a kind of global mind as to how we should think. Now, let me tell you something else about language. In a country like Nigeria, where many languages are spoken, and then there's one overreaching language, which is English, foreign to the people of that land. There are now, nobody speaks correctly in Nigeria anymore. In my father's generation, people used to be able to speak English. Those who spoke English spoke it extremely well, as opposed to today. I was in Nigeria 4 years ago. I was setting up something and looking at Nigerian university qualified CVs. The poverty in the English was, for me, atrocious. I couldn't believe that this is a graduate. Now, this takes place because of the mixing of languages and understandings. Language allows us to think. We have to ask ourselves: those of us who are dual speakers, what they call polyglot, you have to ask yourself, what language do you dream in? The language you dream in is normally the language that you will think in. And thinking is what makes us the beings that we are. If we are not able to think, or think strategically, or think out of problems, think out of issues, it's normally because our language is deduced, biased, non-narrative. This is why when sometimes I get to thinking about Africans and the way sometimes I listen to two Jamaican people speaking, and I passed my patois O level in primary school at 9 years old. Just to say that I have a deep understanding of the patois. But when I listen to a couple of Jamaicans and they're speaking, I'm wondering, are you people understanding yourselves? Because what you're speaking together is completely corrupted. You're not making any sense. You're not actually speaking language. Now, this can come as a deep critique, but look at it as an observation. Check yourself. Have you, those who speak different languages, listened to somebody in another language outside of English, an African language, and that person is really educated in that language? The clarity that comes from that spokesperson is immense compared to when he wants to speak English.
Hey, Jagoon, can I interrupt you real quick, brother? It's going to be very quick, but it's talking about language as well. You mentioned patois. Now I'm fluent in Chi, right? I'm fluent in Chi. And the more and more that I started to study Chi and break down the etymology of it, I kind of started to realize, hey man, this is the same language that that the ancient Egyptians were speaking. Like for instance, Nefertiti, right? In Chi means it can mean and, right? Or it can mean like it is, right? And Fe means beautiful, and Titi means head. So the word Nefertiti literally means her beautiful face, right? Or when you look at, or even when you look at Wohote saying, which is why it's how the Ghanaians say, "How are you?" In ancient Egypt, they had a saying called Hotep, right? And so that Ho and that Te is still there, and the P on the end of that just comes from the ancient from the Chi word Pa, which means good, right? Now, this I'm going to make a point here. This is how you know we don't understand English. Black people, even though we speak English, we don't really understand the nature of a language and what it is used for. In America, and I don't know if it's the same way in other English-speaking places, But we watch TV with these things called soap operas, right? Everybody know what a soap opera is, right? Like a soap opera is pretty much a drama that's on television, right?
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, but soap is used to clean. And opera just comes from the word operation, right? And that's exactly what a soap opera is. And even when you broke down the word soap, that S-O is another Latin prefix that means soul or the source of something, right? And app, the AP part of it, means to apply something. It means or application. That's what app means. So there's like appliance application from, right? So app, even when you break down the word soap, literally means to apply something to a soul. Hence then opera operation. So like once
let me take back my time. Let me take back my time. I understand what you said.
John Goon, you got a minute. I got to pass out some more.
All right, cool, man. Cool, man. What you said was very apt and very, very. You're listening to what I'm saying, and you bring in something even deeper, with knowing or without knowing. Entomology is the most important word you said, because when you used to learn English in the 1940s, entomology was a part of that lesson. Entomology is discovery of where words come from and how compound words are put together.
Jagoon. Let me say this.
Let me
Skywalker. Let the guy. I got to pass the mic. Go ahead, Jagoon.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. I'm with you. Don't get too impressed in what I'm saying.
No, you're right. You're right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No problems. What I'm trying to put to us is that when it comes to entomology, it is with that you begin to discover the language you're actually speaking, where it comes from. Now today, entomology has been taken out of the curricula for the last 80 years. And within that space of time, a lot of people don't do the kind of thing that Skywalker is speaking about, which is to break down words and understand where they came from and therefore what they really mean. So I'll ask everybody to take the wisdom from the discussions that we're having and throw the rubbish out. Throw it out. Never let it exist on a platform that's supposed to be giving evidence and sense to our people. Thank you very much.
All right, go ahead, Smart.
First things first, man. Danfo Africa. Take your ass over there, sign up, and go over there and eat some of that cassava leaf. They're gonna change your life.
Well,
When you
coming on a trip?
Hey, you know what? I do the solo thing, man. You know, so I'm a street hustler, bro. Hey, but I tell you what, though, I did bite some of your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some of the places you go to, and I'm actually an introvert, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm really not for the crowd type of person, bro. But listen like this though. The thing about it is that I've been listening to all this intellectual language babbling, which has shit to do with the topic. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you got the dudes over here speaking, talking about language over here speaking the Queen's English, sounding like motherfucking King Charles. You get what I'm saying? Sound like he got some motherfucking goddamn crumpets and goddamn special tea in his mouth talking about language and what language he dream in. Yeah, but you sounding like it, you know what I'm saying, dumb shit. And then you got the other dude that's sitting up here cussing out the dude for interrupting him, and all he was doing was interrupting somebody else. You get what I'm saying? It's just a contradiction with black people, man, because we have this thing with us where we always feel like, since we feel like we're the smartest or the sharpest knife, we feel like what we got to say is more important than what somebody else got to say. And I say, you know what? It's fine if you feel that way. Get you a platform and you go over there and just start talking about the Queen's English. Start talking about beans and rice, you know what I'm saying, jam and toast, or whatever the fuck you want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? 1 minute, black people talking about revolution, and then the next minute talking about God. You know, Miss V, she was still talking about it earlier. She was like, you know, all we talk about is God and religion, and that's one of our problems. Then she was like, well, what I'm gonna do for the people, I'm gonna pray for them. How How the fuck? It just ain't making no sense. We ain't making no sense. The only thing that I agree with the other brother Skywalker said is that only thing that white people is gonna respect is belt to ass. That's the only thing. Not your prayers, not your intellectual babble, not fucking Thomas Sowell and whatever else sacred cow fuck boy that you want to name up that has something. It doesn't matter if they had nothing good to say. Because these people is talking all that shit and living up under the white man, Western society in America, goddamn loving his goods and services. It's easy to sit up there and talk about what somebody need to do in Niger and Burkina Faso when you clocking in, going to work for the white man. You ain't left your job for the white man. You go past,
paying your taxes to the white man.
You go past 10 black restaurants to go to a white restaurant. You pass by, hey Diners, you remember the Black Wall Street that they did over there in Stone Mountain?
Is it still open?
Over there in Latonia?
Yeah, is it still
you
open?
Remember they opened up the Black Wall Street? It went under because black people don't support it. We don't support each other. And to sit up here and think that all black people from Africa to America is the same is a goddamn lie. Because we don't see them the same, they don't see us the same. Now, if you want to say it, it doesn't matter what you say. You get what I'm saying? If they're tribalistic, so what? We're tribalistic in America. But since we are under the oppression of white people, we're forced to be around each other. But what the first thing black people do when they get a little bit of money, I'll tell you, because I'm one of them black folks. I got the fuck away from black people. All that, yeah, brother, on the right hand side, on the black hand side, on the back hand side, get a hands up. All that dumb black folks shit is goddamn dumb because black people don't bust a grape. If it's on the white people, if you show a picture of a white person, a black person be like, oh shit, what can I put in the application? You show them a picture of a black person, man, who he is. I'm better than him. I bet I can take his chick. I got more money than him. It's how we look at each other. And nobody ain't trained us to do that. Nobody ain't trained us to do that in America. We do that to each other. We take pride. We take pride in hunting each other. We take pride in talking shit to each other. We take pride in goddamn looking down on each other. But when it comes to white people, we don't even goddamn go. We ain't going out in their neighborhood busting no goddamn straps. We ain't going out in their neighborhood setting up drug traps. So we ain't doing shit in America. So I have nothing to say how people get down in West Africa, how they move and how they operate. Because all these dudes get on the internet and do is talk. They ain't supporting nobody. At least if you ain't gonna be physically supported, if you got all that support, you got all that intellectual properties and intellectual babbling, goddamn support with your money. We got plenty of money over here. Support a family.
Hey, with that being said, Smart, send me something from your tricky fund. Come on, send me something.
You know what, man? Hey, I got you right now working on Collar. I'm goddamn raised up $300 for his Liberian trip. But you want me to do it? I'll do it for you too, bro. When you leaving again? When you leaving again, Dinah?
We leave in May.
Well, hey, you can call over there. I raised up $300 plus I'm covering the rest for his Liberia trip next week, man. That's how we doing over there, man. I passed the mic.
Yo, let me say something to Hustle Smart, yo, bro. I respect you. I respect Hustle Smart, bro. You gave a great analysis. But let me say this. Believe it or not, I know it might seem far-fetched. I think I got on the language stuff because we were talking about democracy. I was just bringing down the word democracy. But all this stuff is still, intricately related. And then you make I know it might seem, like it's distant, but it's all intricately related, especially the language, the language part. But and also let me say this: you said that that black people and Africans weren't the same, but then right after you said that, you started saying all these things that were similar. You was like tribalistic. You said we're tribalistic over here. They tribalistic over there. You said you get your money and you lead white people. I mean, you lead the black neighborhoods. The black African get his money and he lead the black folks over here. So, like I said, he lead the black folks over there and go all the friends or whatever and get the party. And you know what I'm saying? Like using his money or whatever. So I mean, essentially, you actually kind of contradicted yourself when you said that.
No, I didn't contradict myself at all. I said when black people get money, they lead black people.
Exactly, and that's what the and that's what the African and that's what the
when
and that's what the African
and that's
what the African does as well.
The dumb Indians behind.
Exactly, the African does the same thing, bro. The African does the same.
Everybody when they get money, they leave that dumb shit behind.
Bro, the African does the same thing. Exactly. So like I said,
when dumb redneck get some money, he gonna move away from dumb rednecks. That's just people in general.
That's showing a similarity, bro. That's showing a similarity. That's not showing a distinction. That's what I'm saying. You didn't distinguish us. You showed a similarity. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's white people but you still showed a similarity and not a difference, bro.
Let me pass the mic to V. Go ahead, V.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to go back on what he said that I was saying that in Africa we go to church and we go to mosque a lot, and then in the end I said, "Oh, I'll pray for them." I was just being a matter of fact. There was a bit of sarcasm in what I'm saying, but maybe that went over. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, to say that, oh, black people don't support each other, black people don't do this, we do seems to. You were talking about we being negative, but then you also went on to be negative. Why do we always having this go at ourselves that we don't support each other? We do support each other. Black people do. Perhaps not as much as we should. But there's a lot of, nobody know who we are. We just met on this platform and we all come here and say whatever we have to say. But at the end of the day, you don't know what somebody else is doing, whatever in your community or not. So for you to just say that, oh, we don't do anything and we just come here and talk, that's not right.
You don't do shit, but come up here and run your goddamn mouth. That's all you do.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Hold on. Yeah, come on, y'all.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm saying, show. I can dance.
Y'all don't know that, lady. Y'all don't
tell what I do every week.
Yeah, but y'all don't know that lady to make that type of assertion.
Nobody has to tell anybody what they do. I'm not obligated to tell anybody.
Nobody's concerned about it, but you don't do shit.
Hold on, let me finish. Go ahead,
the discussion, what I'm trying to end on was the discussion was not about us on what we do or we do not do. It wasn't about, it was about what is going on in the West African region and particularly the Sahel. Right. And perhaps we should stick to that. Yeah. And as I was saying earlier, there was a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues within the West African region. Democracy isn't working. Democracy has not worked. Ghana is coming up to about 65 years of independence, going on to 70. If you go to Ghana now and ask the government what they have done, it's a patchwork of development. You don't see anything gelling. There's a huge unemployment in Ghana, not just in Ghana, the whole of West Africa. You have government.
Ghana is the most sane country in West Africa. It is the most sane country in West Africa.
Ghana is what?
Is the most sane.
The most sane. Do you think so? Yeah. You think so?
I thought they said Ghana is the most.
One mic. I would say Senegal.
Yes,
Senegal.
Have you been to Senegal?
Senegal.
No, you
haven't.
You haven't been
it's not Senegal. Senegal has serious issues, politically speaking. They were trying to change the constitution a few years ago. They were trying to do all manner of things.
Listen, the discussion is not even about Ghana anyway.
Hello?
But I will want you to reflect on all the previous government we have got, taking Nkrumah out, and reflect on all the other government we have had, and ask yourself that are we developed to the point that we could have been as a nation that's so endowed in resources? We're not.
But I'm saying that, okay, if you look at West Africa, okay, if you look at West Africa, and you look at the countries that have military regimes and countries that are democratic, okay, Ghana is one of the same ones. I mean, let's be honest. How many of the
That's
countries in West
subjective.
Africa?
Where did you get that from? Where did you get that
Yeah,
from?
that's subjective to make that statement. There's no
You've been
reason
speaking
to
all
say
this time, love. Just let other people speak now. Where did you get that from?
I've been to Dakar, I've been to Ivoria, I've been to Togo.
I've been there too, all over the place.
Listen, I'm just telling you, I'm just making a comparison here.
Senegal is just way above Ghana.
I'm in Ghana a lot. You cannot tell me that Ghana is saying in what?
Mention the metrics.
Ghana is not
access to education, electricity, water. What? Mention the metrics.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. You want us to prove it to you? Senegal is more developed than Ghana. Ghana is catching up now, but Ghana is not more developed.
You just saying. He was talking about insanity. You guys,
yeah, when he means, and also he's talking about democracy, right?
Listen, my brother, listen. Ghana have a situation that when it rains, you just get a little bit of rain and the whole place get choked up. Nothing moves. The drainage get blocked. You see all kinds of garbage streaming around everywhere. We cannot even get basic things like that
West Africa.
Right.
That's all over West Africa.
Oh my God. Listen, you mentioned Ghana. I'm not talking about the whole of West Africa. I'm talking about Ghana now. You said Ghana, then you shift your post. No, come on, stop it.
No, I'm not shifting my
post. Not saying.
I am saying, okay, with all the bad and the good, with all the bad and the good in Ghana, okay, if you pick country by country in West Africa, most of them are banana republics. They're either in war.
Stop it. I think this guy is way off his head. I'm not going to debate you.
Let me just say something to my sister in the chat. And
anyway, that's by the way. That's by the side.
Okay.
You talk about other countries being banana republic. On what basis do you come up with such a statement? On what basis? What are you comparing?
Listen,
what are you comparing?
By the way, my point that I'm trying to make is this, okay? If you look at these three countries, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, okay? If these countries, and I'm not downing them, I'm not trying to put them down, okay? But if you want to find out, okay, if they are really revolutionary, okay, are they still using the CFA or they're using an independent currency?
Listen. You, this guy.
It's a 3-year sample size, man.
You are not making
it's a 3-year sample size.
You know.
Are they still using the CFA?
These critiques are irrational. This is my thing, man.
It's very irrational.
It's a 3-4 year sample size.
This country
notice that you can't answer the question, right?
No, they're still using it. Yes, it's a 3-year sample size.
Okay, hey, I'm about to get out. I'm about to get out the live, guys. But I just want to say this before I leave. Hey, support the Niger. I hope. Support the Niger. I hope they kick the French's ass. That's what we need. We need a warrior class ruling Africa. We need warriors ruling Africa. Fuck all the politics. Fucking warriors prepared to go to war. Prepared to take up arms against the sea of troubles. That's what we need. Okay. You guys have a nice one.
Okay, take care. Mary Shai. Oh, I'm going. Mary Shai. Yes, thank you. Nice to see you back on the chat.
3 years. The whole of West Africa have this currency called the ECO, whatever they're calling it. How long have that been in place?
They left ECOWAS. Why didn't they leave the CFA?
It's coming back. It's coming back.
Listen, you guys talking about
on the pipeline.
Why didn't they leave the CFA?
No, but did you have
it's a process, man? It's a process.
I don't think you understand what you're saying, really, because you're talking about people that they're having a lot of security issues that they're dealing with. They've only been there about 3 years, and you're expecting them to go into the currency issue. They've always made it clear that they won't
within 3 years they left ECOWAS. Within the 3 years they left ECOWAS.
Anything. I don't understand you.
Yeah,
you make it seem as if it's only 3 years and so they can't leave the CFA. I'm saying within 3 years they left.
Yeah, but it's only 3
No,
years.
I'm not saying it's not within their plans. They don't see it as expedient right now. Like that's up to them. But if everything that they're doing is saying that they're trying to get away, they're trying to get away from dependence on France. Nothing that they're doing is saying that they're trying to be dependent.
Okay, guys. I mean,
I'm not arguing that
everything that you both said. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Listen to everything that both of you said. Listen to everything that both of you said. It seems like some people are more begging for the old-fashioned of leadership in Africa, like the inland leadership, than the coastal leadership. And this is the thing I was speaking about a few days ago about in West Africa. Throughout history, we have two different populations and two different systems that they always, had as a governance system. Okay, the coastal region, they always tend to be more democratic. You know, they tend to rule themselves, and they have, you know, power is more in the lower level. Okay. And then in the inner land, where it is Sahelis, throughout history, if you look at the empires, you know, goes back, they always had like, you know, like kings or like hierarchy leaders. So basically, what I see, you know, what I observed from this panel being on here for the last few weeks, okay, it seems like we're asking to have that sort of leadership that we had in the Sahel or in the inner land of West Africa years ago.
Really?
No,
Not
let me
really.
finish.
But I mean, I
Let
agree
me
with you
finish.
saying.
Can I
Thank
add
you.
something? Can I add
So,
something?
you guys need to go back and read the history of West Africa, the ups and downs of having a hierarchy, and the ups and downs of having like a democratic system where no one has the upper hand, where everyone is more like confederacy. But
Yeah,
I'll
but
pass the mic.
the
Yeah.
democracy that they're in favor of is not like the egalitarian system that they had in Africa. If that was what
Oh
these
yes.
quote unquote democratic people were proponents of, I would be a proponent of that. To me, it should be a
My bro.
mixture. But
Yes, my brother. My
these
brother.
people, majority of these
Yes.
people that clamor for this democracy, they want a Western
Yes.
style.
Can I add something
Democracy,
real
which doesn't
quickly?
work with us.
The brother who didn't have to speak said he wants to ask. Well, I'll stop speaking.
No,
Yes, of course.
I was gonna say that guy from Ghana, he's very ingenuous, and here's why, right? He wants to talk about democratic rule. Excuse me, sir. Jerry Rawlings had ruled Ghana from 1980 to all the way until almost 1999, and you only had like 28 years of civilian rule. To sit here and act like you're better than anyone else is very ingenuous. Is number one, and number two,
That's why I asked him about that earlier. Thank you.
That's
Thank
number
you.
one. Number two, you said something about why they didn't leave the CFA Frank. I mean, they're not morons. You just don't have a system. You go and then you leave because it's going to the system's going to fracture. So that's very ingenuous. It's going to take time. They're working on stuff. And number three, you was talking about Niger, about Tiani's not being, I guess, transparent with his citizens. He's been very transparent. He let them know, hey, listen, we're going through a hard time. I'm going to need your guys' help. And please, if you could assist with the public fund, that's what they've been doing. He's been very transparent. The thing I like about the AES, they don't lie. They inform all the citizens on what's going on. So that guy from Ghana is very ingenuous. And let me add one more thing. I am African also, and I'm also from West Africa. So I don't want you sitting here telling me that I'm not from Africa. I don't know what's going on. I'm very aware of what's going on in West Africa. Just wanted to say that, and I'm done.
Okay,
let me say this. Let me say this. Okay. Now, how many of you are aware? Okay, that I think was just yesterday. Okay, ECOWAS countries came out and said they were going to start the ECO next year. And you know which countries are signing up first? There are 5 countries, all of them Anglophone, by the way.
Okay, how long have they
How
been
many
working on the ECHO?
Anglophone countries are in West Africa anyway?
They've been working on the ECHO since 2009, and every time it comes into play, it always gets backtracked because of French. So what does that even mean?
The Anglophone countries in West Africa: Gambia, Nigeria, Ghana,
Sierra Leone,
Sierra Leone, 5.
Liberia.
5.
There you go.
Those are the 5 countries. Those are the 5 countries
and
that
you're saying
to
that
start it next year.
They're the only one they've agreed to for the ECHO to be be put into use from next year.
Yes, into circulation next year. That is the target.
Yeah,
that is the target.
Always thought,
Okay,
I've
but
always thought,
how long have they been working on the ECHO, sir?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been a relatively long time.
And guess what? Let me add something else too, right? ECOWAS also said they was working on the Joint Task Force since 1999. And guess what? The AES did that within a year. So what are you saying?
Well, in all fairness, Nigeria was doing really good in terms of ECOMOG in the past. Like, you know, Nigeria formed the ECOMOG. They formed the ECOMOG. Yeah, okay, sorry, bro.
Let me just respond to him. The AES created the FU task force within a year. And ECOWAS has been working on that joint task force since 1999. Are you aware of that?
Which joint task force? There is a joint task force.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen carefully.
Okay.
I said ECOWAS has been working on a joint task force since 1999. They've been talking about a joint task force. They never implemented the task force. However, AES started less than 2 years ago, and less than a year was able to create the FU United, the United the United Alliance of Sahel from
Okay.
Niger, from Burkina Faso, and from Mali. Less than a
Right.
year. So now you got to ask yourself, how come they couldn't get this task force done? Why did it took them almost until now?
Mm.
Let me read this cool chat. Let me read this cool chat. Mr. Ifel Lua 44591. Thank you for 999. Holla. Peace to the chat and panel. My brother Smart, always speaking the truth.
I know, I appreciate that, but Dinah's gonna mute my mic when all these other dudes talking over each other, screaming on each other. But he gonna mute my mic and let these other people just talk and scream around each other. But I appreciate that, bro. I do tell the truth when I come up here.
I mean, with regards to the currency, it's had so many setbacks, and that was I think well I don't want to say, but it was coming mainly from most of the opposition for the eco or whatever the currencies would be called came from Ivoria, specifically.
Yeah, Ivory Coast.
Can I finish? Yeah, Al-Hassan Ouattara. He has been a great opponent of the eco. So, I mean, the last time that they were really pushing to bring it forward, Nigeria even came, on board, which the whole of West Africa need Nigeria to be on board with their currency. And just as they finished the discussion, this man, Al-Hassan Ouattara, took his plane all the way back to Paris to report to his masters. He then came back with a different statement from what they've all agreed. So to say that the alliance of Sahel state within 3 years to change their currency just like that, it doesn't work like that. They need to work on it, and which I believe they're doing, and they have every plan to do so. And if you have this ECOWAS to be there for,
yes,
Can
I'm
I
saying the
ask you one
mistake that
question?
the
Why are you so hostile?
the ECO is making one mistake, and that is
why are you so
it is
hostile to
the
also?
mistake is coming from the implementation.
Yeah, why are you so hostile towards Ivory Coast? Why are you so hostile towards Ivory Coast, V?
Yeah, Ivory Coast, Al-Hassan Ouattara has always, when he came in, he blamed Gbagbo for almost everything. Gbagbo, the reason why the French wanted Gbagbo gone was Gbagbo wanted to get away. He wanted something similar to what the Sahelians are doing now. And the French
But that's not
realized
Ivory
that.
Coast, though. That's the leader, not the country, because he seemed to
No,
be
I don't
talking
have an
a lot
issue with the
negative
people.
about Ivory
No. I'm not. If I came across having an issue with the people, that's wrong. I don't have people. I don't have an issue with the people at all. No, of course not. I don't.
Because Ivory Coast is the only country in West Africa that represents the entire region. Okay, every single region, every single people from Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea, even Ghana, and they find themselves in Ivory Coast. It's like a little multi-national.
Yeah, I do
West
not have
African
an
country.
issue. If I came across having an issue with the people, then that's wrong. That's not what I intend.
Okay, all right.
It's the leadership I'm talking about. But I always mention his name. I said Al-Hassan Ouattara. I never said the people of Ivory Coast, because at the moment they don't even seem to have any power in the country anymore. They can't do anything. This man has imposed himself on them for almost he's coming over 20 years or coming up to 20 years. He's not even in full health, but he insists on being there. He has all gone and changed constitution a couple of times. Now he's promoted his brother into a vice prime minister, which apparently is a post that's never existed. So basically, he's grooming the place into a family dynasty, which is something that all these so-called democracies in Africa have been doing. And this is what's, excuse my language, pissing a lot of people off. They don't see democracy as functioning properly for them. They believe that every 4 or 5 years, there's a whole lot of campaign. People are distributed a bag of rice and a gallon of oil or something, troop into the polling stations, vote for these people, and then as soon as they get the vote, they off and they forget about them. Things that they promised, they cannot even fulfill. They don't even make an effort to fulfill even half of what promises they make. Or it's either that, or they go out, they make an outlandish promises that they cannot fulfill. You know, it's a mess. So I can understand why many in West Africa are gravitating towards the Sahelis, because they see them as a change from what they have experienced all these years. Al-Hassan, you came in saying that Bagbo has ruined the economy, he's done all the wrongs and everything. You accused him of everything. After the election, there was a war. You brought in so many people, you called them Northern rebels or whatever, and came in. There was a brutal war. French came in, supported you. You bombed your own country. And then as soon as you get into power, you made every effort to change the rules. You know, the same thing that you accuse your predecessor of doing, you've done even worse. These people are very disingenuous. So, I mean, I don't understand. I can't get, I don't like any of them. I'm being honest. I don't like any of those leaders. And so that's why
No,
I
they're
gravitate
autocrats.
towards the Sahel.
It's all autocracy in West Africa now. You know, there's no democracy. Let's be real. You know, they either change the constitution or they leave somebody that's their relatives to back them up from, you know, the wealth that they stole from the country or from the country. You know, it's always trying to find a backup, isn't it? You know, we know that. You know, but what I'm trying to say is we need to, in West Africa. You know, speaking as West Africa now, we so the way I see it, we, you know, us, even, you know, someone coming from someone from Ghana, what I'm hearing is that we actually are gravitating towards the inner land system of governance. You know, that has been there for centuries before the arrival of Europeans, which is, you know, like the Malis, the Ghana, you know, the Songhai, where, you know, we look up to the kings and, you know, this tough hard leader, you know, like a king, or, you know, who actually we gravitate to. But let's not forget, this is how it end up happening, where the empire, you know, became so large. I'm giving Mali Empire as a good example. It became so successful and became bigger to the point where, you know, it's not, you can't control it. The king couldn't control it like that anymore. But hopefully, things will be different this time because we have technologies and we have different system in place to keep that. But if we're gravitating towards the inland system of governance, towards the entire region in West Africa, you know, and people on the coast are happy to buy into that system of governance because they're not happy with democracy anymore, because democracy seems to be like autocracy today. Then, you know, maybe that's a conversation we could have another time. That's what I got to say.
Africa. Let's be honest, man. Most African leaders and whatever they do, they don't they just want power, and they don't govern.
Yeah.
They don't govern based on just like let's say Nigeria. Nigeria got 200-300 million people. They govern for about 100 million. Do you get what I'm saying? They don't govern for the population. All of the West African countries are like that. Probably the best one that I see is Senegal. You get what I'm saying? But the point that you have people that's in the West, in America, people, these goddamn dirty ass, curry goat eating ass Jamaicans and all these other people that sit up here got something to say about they want to see war over here in America, where they won't even lay a hand on white people. Won't get. I'm talking about they sitting up here crashing into goddamn telegram poles, hitting curves, trying to get to work, to clock in, to say, "Massa, what you want me to do today?" But sit up there telling the other group of people, you know what I'm saying, that they need to go to war. But see, the thing about it is, though, see, when you say the word war, it sounds good. But what about when war happened? What happened to all the investments that all these people from America and all these other black people from that came over there, invested in that country? What you think happened to their investment if a country goes to war? Like, we don't think about certain things like that. We're so emotional. So we got brothers from America sitting up here talking about war, let's kill Whitey. But they ain't killing Whitey in America. You ain't killing Whitey in America, but you want some black folks over here in goddamn Africa with their toes out, with flip-flops on. You want to tell them to go kill somebody where in America you got access to guns, rifles, 1,000 rounds, but you can go, it's just like going to buy something to eat. You can go buy a gun, ammo, bulletproof vests, night goggle vision. You can go buy all that stuff in America and go hunt white people. But you ain't doing none of that. But you sit up there and talk about what you support these people that just been in a coming out of a military coup for 3 years. You telling them to go kill. But you've been in America for 400 years off the backs of the slaves and all that shit, and then sit up here talking about the God and the ancestor. Man, fuck God and fuck the ancestors, because none of that shit saved us from them boats when we was on the bottom of the boats. God and the ancestors ain't helped none of us.
Well, you can say God, but the ancestors not, bro.
If it weren't for white people getting tired of stringing us up, killing us, raping us, displacing us, we'll still be in slavery in America.
That's not true.
They did that
for industrialization. It had nothing to do with them being tired of it.
Hold on, bro. Cause you was sitting up here talking about other people, interrupting people. So show me the same respect that you wanted for yourself. Now, in America, ain't now black people rose up in a big group. Not 1,000 or better, went out there and fought white people to stop slavery. It took legislation from white people. Black people weren't even allowed to vote. Black people were still considered as animals. So it was white people, regardless of the fact, regardless of the what, when, how. It was white people that said, hey, we're done with slavery. And since then, since 1968, you know what's been happening? The numbers of black people killing black people keep going up. Since 1968.
Right.
But look at the black people killing black people and killing white people. But they sit up here talking about go put belt the ass to the French. How about you put belt the ass to the white people in America?
Are you finished?
Uncle,
hold on. Let me respond to that. All right, so brother, I hear what you're saying, but all of the black people that's over here in the United States killing black people is not on no quote unquote Pan-Africanist agenda. I didn't hear. I think the brother Skywalker said that you need to take a militant approach. He wasn't telling nobody on this panel or even the people that's directly in those areas to do no type of ignorant militaristic just going out once and trying to kill people. No, he said just take a strategic military stance, as I did. Anybody that's intelligent would suggest anybody to do that when you're dealing with opposing forces. Now, I would agree when you're talking about most Pan-Africanists over here in America. I say this all the time. Most people's all talk and they know action. They paying taxes. They ain't never busted a grape with no white people. I'm fighting the case right now for hitting a cracker in his mouth. So, I can't really talk like that because I'll be standing on my business, but that's not for the internet. But again, like I said, anybody that's on here, I agree. If you on here talking and telling other people in other areas to go bust I don't want to say that because we on the internet, to go do something to somebody, and you're not doing it yourself, you a hypocrite. So I agree with that. But I'll listen to my
and also, thank you. You see, Uncle Sims, Uncle Sim, you're so spot on, okay? I live in the city of Edward Colston, the slave master. He's one of the biggest slave masters in the Anglo-Saxon world, period, okay? And we have you're so right. People don't understand. Without the decent white people that look at slavery and say, look, this is wrong. Okay, it started off my city where I live. We have areas in this town center where it used to be secret society of white people who are taking the risk of having their head chopped off, okay, having secret meeting with elites to end slavery. Okay, and if they were to court, most of the people that go court in those meetings, they get hanged. And we have loads of statues outside surrounding my cities and areas of these abolitionists who lost their lives, okay, helping black people for freedom, for free slaves. How many black people actually commemorate those people?
Man, forget them. They should have did it. Man, come on, bro. Y'all love. Forget them. I don't know about. They should have did what they was doing, and they should have died. More of them should have died over that, bro. Y'all love coming on here and kissing Europeans' butt, bro. It don't matter. Who cares? They ended slavery to industrialize. Ain't nobody finna romanticize nothing they did, bro. They did far more damage than they did good. Forget them. And rest in hell. Nobody cares.
Right. No, I'm just saying this is the point. I'm looking at. Listen, I am a very rational person. I'm not saying they're good people for what they did to us. Obviously not. We know that's 100% wrong.
No, you're not being rational
I'm
because
just saying.
what you're doing, you're taking a small minority of a population and juxtaposing that to the majority of people that wasn't in favor and didn't do nothing towards it. More of them should have died. So it is what it is.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The main liberators of slavery and the oppression of black people were the slaves themselves, the black people themselves. The amount of revolutionary spirits that were in America and the Caribbean and the rest of the world that were against slavery. I mean, Haiti happened in the 1800s. This is a long time before before Wilberforce and these people looked to eradicate slavery after they had already made all the money possible from the trade itself. In fact, they set the trade up. So it is a bit cheap of us as black people not to recognize that the actual people that got themselves their liberation were the slaves themselves. They were fighting against the slavery without a plan. They were fighting for their freedom. So, what it is that we don't recognize that. You might have a statue of Edward Colston in the City Hall in Bristol or wherever it is that you live. But what that's
he was a slave master.
That's
they love these Europeans, brother. That's all it is, man. They love these Europeans.
That's
unimportant.
No, wait. That's unimportant.
Slavery wasn't free like that.
All I'm saying is that is extremely unimportant compared to the commiseration of lives whose names we don't know. We don't know half the names that went into actually physically stopping slavery. So, it's just like anything. It's just like anything. Our music. Our music used to have the pictures of white people on the LP as it was going out because they couldn't have a picture of a black man. But that's not the case. The case is, this is black music. This is black music. This is ours. It went all the way up to how today they usurp our culture and use it for their product search in advertising and such. They use it. You don't even know what's what anymore. This is the way the world is confused. As I said, the world is in two places where Africa is concerned. Those who look to the West because they were conquered by the West, and those who look to the Arabs because they were conquered by Islam. And until we get out of this quagmire of idiotic thinking, where we are not using what is ours to think, those idiots in the platform that didn't understand what I was saying before, those idiots in the comment section that foolishly don't know how to listen, but they're perplexed by the accent I use in speaking my English. Very, very stupid.
Look at you speak the Queen's English.
Yeah. Look at the content of what I'm saying before you confuse yourself.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Wait, be quiet. I didn't interrupt you.
People from the UK, they don't even talk with that heavy of an accent. They don't even talk with that heavy of an accent. You sound like King George.
Don't disturb me as I didn't disturb you. Don't disturb me as I didn't disturb you, you freak. You idiot. You have no nous.
Yeah, everybody is dumb.
You're an idiot. Just shut up.
Everybody is dumb.
I'm not looking for you.
You do the same thing when you come in. Everybody's an idiot.
I'm not looking for you.
You're the one standing up here talking like you just left the council.
About how to be from you because you are.
You don't need to tell nobody. You don't need to tell nobody nothing.
You're a smart.
When you open your mouth, you sounding like the Queen Elizabeth son-in-law. You make yourself look bad. You know what I'm saying? Even too nice when he come up here, he don't even talk like that.
You sound like a fucking wounded hog.
Everybody says that when you start talking.
I don't need your voice in my interruption.
Please, can we have some sanity, please? Can we?
It's coming from one person. That's the idiot upon us.
Everybody's an idiot. Here he goes. Here
he is, making his unimportant self seem important.
The one that sounds like he's from Scotland is the smartest one here.
Idiot from hell.
Crazy, man.
I cannot take your stupidity. It's a great shame that you have to be here.
It doesn't matter what you got. You don't have to do anything. Nobody cares what you think, bro. That's
Yeah,
the
you
part
don't
about
care.
you. You actually
You don't
think like
care.
somebody cares what you think.
You don't care. You don't care. Take a
When
gun
nobody
and
cares
shoot
what you
yourself.
think, bro.
Take a gun and kill yourself. That's the best you could
Right.
do.
Oh my God,
Jagun,
now
if you're
come
not
on
gonna
now,
speak,
listen.
let
Hey,
someone
hey,
else
you
speak,
can't.
please.
Well, didn't I begin speaking?
I gotta read these super chats. AES launched. Shout out to say James 226. They can find out holla. AES launched like a confederal investment bank and step towards the creation of our own currency. Go ahead, V.
No, bruh, I haven't finished speaking. You know, bruh. I've been quiet for
Man,
a good
shut
hour.
your colonized ass up, bro.
Foolish brother. I've been
You
quiet for a
probably
good
wrapped
hour.
up in the British flag right
You heard
now.
the interruption. Dinus, I'm speaking to you directly. You heard the
Stop crying to
interruption.
your mama, bitch.
Go ahead, Jagun. What's up?
Bro, you heard the interruption from this fool. But you allowed him. I will speak.
You got a minute. You got a minute. No one interrupt. Jagun, you got a minute. No one interrupt.
Yeah, man. I beg you to moderate the show, bro. Don't let idiots come on and destroy the show.
Go ahead. You got a minute.
Yeah. You want everything speed with, but you're not paying attention. What I'm dealing with is the way that we communicate, what we look at is all wrong. And it's wrong because we only look at the West or we look at Islam. And we don't know how to look for what is African within us, which is why we just keep going wrong. We keep answering the wrong wrong question. We're giving answers almost for the wrong question. And people like the person that's interrupting, it doesn't understand that this world is round and people are on the ground somewhere. And from that place where they are on, it pronounce their accuracy. So if you don't understand that, to hell with you.
All right, go ahead, V. And then
Hail to the queen.
I was going
Queen's
to
dead.
talk about what I think we all gone off the topic now. But when they said that somebody
I
was
didn't go off
saying
the
that,
topic.
all right,
Lord.
okay,
Go ahead, V.
okay. I was when they were talking about that it was the goodwill of white people that fought to abolish slavery. Let's not discount the black people. Slavery at some point became unprofitable because there were so many mutinies, there was so many fighting within the areas where they were going around kidnapping people. So it became unprofitable for the Europeans. Even though the abolitionists were doing their part, the white ones in Europe, for instance, that I was mentioning some places where there are people that they were in Europe and they were fighting the British, they were sort of campaigning within the British in the parliament to get slavery stopped. There was a lot of fighting also in America and the Caribbean and Brazil. So it became, it just wasn't worth for them doing it. That is why they stopped. It wasn't because you have to remember that the whole idea was about money making. It was money. So when it became unprofitable, because their ships that were coming to West Africa was massively being attacked. There's a lot of their ships were wrecked down at the coast. There was a lot of fighting going on. I mean, if you take the coastal tribes, when they became fully aware, even though some of them sort of collaborated and participated within by allowing the people to build their castles and their forts and their places where they were holding people, they became very sort of aware that this is not good and it has to stop. So there was the fighting started there. Well, it didn't start there, but it became intense. And you have, small tribes like, say, the Kru tribe in Liberia. I believe the Kru tribe are in Liberia. They're a small tribe there. There weren't many, but they were so fierce against these Europeans. In the end, tribes like that, they left them alone. So it became difficult
You're talking rubbish, man. The crew people of Sierra Leone were known to be the one that would tie you up. When they tie you, bro. When these people tie
they
you
were
and put on the
fighting the
boats.
Europeans at some point, though.
Next,
It was just about industrialization. They wanted to industrialize it. Slave labor was keeping them from industrializing, so they wanted to end it. And the British didn't want people to get no advantage of them, so they could keep getting slaves. So they tried to stop it through their navy. It wasn't no altruistic thing.
We got on the panel. Let V. You got a minute. I got to pass the mic to CD.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I read what
The
I
bang,
read.
the bang.
I mean,
Sorry.
I'm not from Sierra Leone, so I'm not going to dispute what you're saying. But what I read was they were literally fighting the Europeans, so the Europeans left them alone. And there were many other tribes like them. I was just using them as an example. So it wasn't just the abolitionists that were fighting too. Obviously, they have to go to their parliament to get the law to, to bring about law that would
The Crow
enforce
tribe, they're good
slavery.
people, by the way. Just to
Oh
make that clear,
man,
they're good
let her
people.
finish. I gotta pass the mic. So go
All right,
go.
carry on, Daniel. I lost my
Go ahead,
my
Bang.
thread.
Go ahead, Bang.
Okay, how's everybody? Rest in peace, Jesse Jackson.
Man, fuck Jesse Jackson.
Facts. Stop saying that.
No, just at the end of the day, he didn't achieve what he wanted to achieve.
Man, no. F Jesse Jackson,
Okay,
man. Come on. Get to your
okay.
point.
Let me say my piece, man. Can I say my piece about whoever I want to say rest in peace to? Please, my brothers, man. Let me just say that.
Yes,
But
please.
anyway,
Yeah, let
me
him
get
speak.
to let me get to some of these some of these fake Africans that always come up here on try to tell us stuff
Go
like
ahead, man. Say RIP to Jesse Jackson one more time, bro. Go ahead and say it the correct way.
come on, man.
No, I was saying say it without the interruption. You can say it without the interruption.
Okay, man. RIP to Jesse Jackson.
Man, fuck Jesse Jackson.
My God, man, but at least he's an
Uncle,
elder,
that's
man.
a nephew, though. Be nice to him. That's a nephew.
Have some respect for some elders, man. I'm a black man, from the continent. I always have respect for elders. It don't matter if I disagree with them. I always got to take my hat off to them. That's all I'm doing. You understand?
Coons get no love.
Oh my God. But anyway, okay, let's get to this topic right here with Niger president trying to go to war with France, right? Telling his citizens. At the end of the day, as well, he's 100% right. I saw an interview that he did a couple days ago. This man history, his knowledge of history, it's amazing. This man gave specific names, all type of history in Africa, right? For about 30 minutes. I was like, wow. But anyway, now let's get to who they fighting, right? The Ghana government has a military. I mean, the United States has a military base in Ghana, right? So technically, the U.S. government is spying on these countries. They funding some of these, so-called T groups that's running around, right? I don't hear these Ghanaians, telling them, oh my God, we are sorry, we gonna try to get the United States base out of your country because the U.S. military used that base right there to get the soldiers to Nigeria as well. So if Nigeria government is fighting France is a vassal of the United States. So technically, if you come in and do agree that AES is fighting France, so technically, America is the big dog. So technically, Niger is fighting America. So if you're Ghanaian, you have a military base up there, and then the military base, they could do whatever they want and stuff like that. But at the same time, you support these three countries. You gotta come out and call your country what they are. Your country is the same with supporting these two groups as well. But you guys don't come out and say such a thing. Now Nigeria is already in it too under Tinubu. The Yoruba president as well. But I don't hear these Yorubas saying such a thing because if it was a Fulani man in power right now, I guarantee y'all so-called Fulani haters we be like,
that's just rubbish. That's rubbish. That's not fact.
Look at this thing here. Hey,
All right.
look at these people.
Believe what you want to believe. Believe whatever you want to believe.
I heard you yesterday.
This is so inaccurate.
You said no. I heard you yesterday. I heard what you said with you and what's his name? To Niger. When the show ended, I heard it. I heard what you spoke between to Niger.
Well, that's good.
I heard what you guys say.
That's
What you guys say. You understand?
That's good.
But then,
yeah,
but then, when you on the show right
what
here,
did I say? What did I say?
Oh, do you want to play it? I'll play it for you because I recorded. I keep evidence for my enemies. I keep evidence for my enemies.
I didn't know I was your enemy, but fair enough. If you want to waste your life,
man, I might send it to Dynasty as well.
Send it.
But y'all Ghanaians,
I don't know. It's somebody that brought it up. Some idiot brought it up.
Let him speak.
Do not come out here to try to act like all innocent. Because you know why? If you approve to what these three countries are doing, your leadership, your government structures are the ones trying to destabilize these people.
Yeah, I didn't put the government structure there. I didn't put it there. You damn fool.
No.
You fucking idiot. What are you saying?
You see, there's no need to
You're
cuss
an
you
idiot.
elder,
Shut
man.
up.
You
You're
elder.
wasting
Everybody
time.
an idiot. So
Dragon,
everybody an
you're
idiot except for you, you
you're
fucking
embarrassing,
faggot.
Dragon. You're shameful, Dragon.
You've been in England. You've been in England
Look, the show's
for
now
more than
become
60
about me.
years.
The show's become
Well, then
about me.
shut your whole ass up then.
Because
I'm
you're
gonna speak if I
embarrassing,
want to speak.
Dragon.
I'm gonna speak when I want to speak.
Dragon, listen to this.
You're a
Fuck off.
female. That's why you talk like that.
Wow. That's why you talk. Wow. Why do you speak like how you speak? You speak like a
It'd be better
dumbass.
if you talk like me.
No, speak like you. You only make noise. You don't speak.
It'll be better. You try to talk. You love your English accent. You love your English. You sound like a chick.
Wow.
The other day, right? The other day
Yeah,
we just spoke about
guys,
Nigeria.
no, bang. You got 1 minute, guys. Don't interrupt, bang. You got 1 minute.
Go ahead, bang.
Hustle smart. The other day we just said
Yes,
about
sir.
Nigeria. You are 100% right. From the north to the south to the east, that's exactly how Nigeria is. You are 100% right. You are 100% right. But is this so-called Nigerians, when they expose them for really what they are, what the country is, the mindset, how travelers they are, then they get mad. You guys are lucky. If I was a Fulani from Nigeria, oh my God, you can't even sleep because you would hate me. You would despise me because you know why? I'll be 20-time travelers, 100-time travelers because you know that's how Nigeria operates. Nigeria is a travelers country. So then if somebody else defeat your people, you can't come here and act like, oh, you care about Nigeria because you don't. You just want your people to be on top. That's how exactly it is. But hustle smart. Respect to you. What you said was 100% right. 100% right. From the north to the south to the east, that's how Nigeria is. Even in my country, in some ways, but it's just in Nigeria, it's just a steroid.
It's
Everything about
magnified.
Nigeria, exactly. Thank you. I end it right here. I end it right. Ghanaians, man.
Hey, Dinus, let me ask you a question, Dinus, about Article 5, Dinus. Hey, Dinus, let me ask you a question about Article 5. So don't they
hold on. Is Article 5, is that like the plot to cause division?
If one NATO country fight, then the UN, the Article 5 kicks in, and the other NATO countries have to help, right?
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
It ain't French part of the NATO. So Article 5 would kick in if Niger go to war with them, right?
Well, it depends. Like, does it have to go to a vote first, or?
No, it's not even. It's almost like it's an agreement that's already signed. So it's not even.
I don't know.
So as far as what I know about Article 5, one attack on a NATO country automatically. Now you see this dude acting like a fucking female.
Wow.
Let the man speak, man. Like a chick.
What you're saying is if Nigeria attacks France, then they got to deal with NATO. That's what you're saying.
The Article 5 automatically kicks in. There's no type of guessing, no type of vote or anything. The UN will have to respond.
Okay, let me pass it to CD. Go ahead, CD.
Pass it on, Joe. Don't say
man. Oh man. I can't wait for that topic, man. That Russian guy in Ghana. Oh my God. Ghanaians ladies, man. Oh my God.
Go ahead, CD.
Yeah, man.
They all the shot wolves.
Man, go ahead, CD.
Yeah, we are praying for the juntas of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to succeed. But at the same time, we're dealing with African soldiers, African leaders, especially the militaries, right? It's easy for them to manipulate their population because of illiteracy rate. They will come with every type of game and distract their population, specifically if the population is struggling, and they will try to put all the blame on France. We have to analyze the situation. We see the place was dark. You see, France came and attacked the airport. We didn't see any plane that got burned. We have not seen the real picture of the damage that was done to the airport. So we have to analyze the situation and see anytime when African military leaders speak.
Just to let you know, there are pictures there, but continue.
When anytime African military leaders speak, you have to analyze the situation.
You have to know what are they really mean what is going on the ground, right? So the same thing happened in Sierra Leone, the same thing happened in Liberia. They will go on the war front and kill civilians and bring civilian body that they have killed rebel, right? And at the same time, the rebel is running every villages, every city, until when the rebel came and entered in the city and started killing people. So juntas, it's easy to manipulate their population. It's the same thing Yahya Jammeh did when he was failing. He told the Gambian that he got cured for HIV, and he started organizing beauty parties, sleeping with young girls, holding Holy Quran in his one hand, and also hold another stick in another hand. But for the fact that people so brainwashed with religion, and he's showing the Quran, they think, this is what he's telling us is the truth, is the reality. We have to study the situation. We have gone through this several times. You have to know this. Where I from, when specifically, if when someone is a failure in my family, they know they have tried businesses, they have tried to go to school, they cannot understand anything, and they are very stubborn. Most of the time, the family will decide, okay, let's just put him in the military. Military is more of like a dumping ground in a lot of African countries, right? And these are the people that sometimes claim the ladder and find themselves in leadership. I'm not saying all of them, but if you look at the structure, a lot of African soldiers, a lot of African militaries, that's how you people find themselves in the military. When this person is stubborn or he's a criminal in the family, he's causing a lot of trouble, they will use the military as a dumping ground, right? And they will put in the military. And once he's in the military, all they will be doing is to harass citizens, or corrupt or stealing from people. Whereas at the same time, they serve in the military. So when the junta speak, we have to know, what is he making any improvement in Niger? Because when he spoke, I listened to his speech when he was speaking about Cote d'Ivoire. He mentioned about when he was serving in Ivory Coast, in maybe with United Nations forces, where he used to go to Mine, he used to go to Denene, he used to go to Boaké, he used to go all the way to the border of Liberia and Ivory Coast, he used to go to the border of the Ivory Coast and Ghana. So he mentioned all of these and try to implicate Ivory Coast, Benin, and France. First of all, how he going to fight France? He's going to fight France with conventional war. They don't even have a military plane. Where he's going to counter, attack France from? I don't
Okay,
understand that.
City,
So, but
sir.
for the fact that he can easily brainwash them to say, well, we're going to go fight for where
City.
you going to meet the French soldier to fight them?
Okay, City. I gotta respond to you, okay? Because
So
you're City.
that's
Can I
the part I
respond?
don't
Okay,
understand. We all, and again, I will say this: we
Let
want
him
him
finish,
to succeed.
Master.
but I want to respond to what
And,
City
and and
said.
one of the things again, African politics is more populism, right? People for some time, that's why we have to be very. People look at what the leader can give me right now. Most of the leader, they will go and distribute money among poor people, or send them to Mecca for Hajj, or give some family a couple of dollars, and they can't even afford food to eat. They will support you because of they're taking taxpayer money and distribute it among poor people, illiterate people.
Okay,
Those type of
I
politics doesn't work in places like America, but
uh,
it's easier to manipulate people. Even no matter how bad he is, a bad leader, but for the fact that the leader will give them $100, they will vote for him. They will say, "Oh, he gave me $100. This is the guy
all
that
right.
sent me to Mecca. I never had no means
How
to go
does
to
this
Mecca."
Okay,
apply to
City.
Tiani
I just
though?
want to let
Come
me
on,
hold on. Let me
come on,
respond to him,
come on,
right?
come on,
No,
Right.
no.
come on,
So
Let
come
me
on.
respond to him, right?
These are
Because
just failure
Let
City,
Master
fabrications.
City.
let Master respond.
Hold on. Let me respond, right?
so let
Because
me finish. Let me finish. Then you can.
hold on.
So
Okay, no. Okay. Let me just respond to what you said because you said that Tiani is allegedly
real quick. Hey, CD, thank you for the Zell, City. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. We gotta
All right.
support you.
So I was
Yeah, I
saying
appreciate
that,
the
right?
Zell.
Because you stated that Tiani might be brainwashing the people because they're illiterate, right? Here's a problem with that, right? They have a thing called AS television, AS radio. So it's not just Tiani speaking. They have broadcasters that speak, and not only speak, they show video and they show pictures of the work that they're doing, not just on the military side, also on the
Yeah, but
civilian side. No, wait, hold on. Also
let
on
me
the
add this.
civilian side. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see. Also on the civilian side, right? And then that's number one. And then number two, right? The one issue I have with you is that you're referring to them as junta, right? Junta is a European word. So I have to question on as to why you referring to them as junta, just like how the French refers to the AS as putschs and stuff too, right? Why are you using this frame analogy? Because, like I said, you also mentioned that because they go pay people, right? The problem with that is that they've been very transparent, and also they've been cracking down on corruption. So even if someone goes pay somebody, they're gonna sit there and investigate, say, all right, where did this money go to? Because the funds is made publicly, so they're not sitting there paying nobody. Because they've been very transparent. Because I'll tell you this, right? If the youth did not believe them, you would have seen the uproar. They probably would have even got kicked out of office. Because
Okay.
it's not just, and it's my last
Let
thing
me
too.
add
And
this real
also
quick.
too, wait, hold
After you,
on.
please.
This is last thing. And also too, they have a public fund. If people did not believe in their movement, they would not contribute to their fund on the Niger side. So I just totally disagree with your assessment, man. It's just not
Okay,
true.
all right,
Let
all
me add
right.
this,
So
right?
look, let me
Let me
let
add
me
this real
let me
quick.
tell let me tell you
Just
this.
30
Let me
seconds.
tell you
Just
the
30
what
seconds.
I'm
Just 30
taking the
seconds.
example. This is
Hold on,
now
hold on, hold on.
for
At the city is Burkina Faso. Go ahead, City.
let me finish. This is now only for the junta. I'm talking about African politics in general. It happened in Senegal recently, right? Those two young guys, people voted for them because why they came. We're going to kick France out, right?
Populism.
Right, populism. We're going to kick France out. We're going to make everything free, right? And you have to work with people. You cannot work alone. You have whether it's you working with the Middle Eastern or you working with the West. Someone you have to work with people. Whether you're working with the Chinese. So what they did, they kick France out, right? And they said we're going to use our own money to develop Senegal. And Senegal, well, it has no resources. There's no resource in Senegal. So what they're doing right now, they're
What are you
taxing
talking about? Senegal just
individuals.
discovered a bunch of oil. What are you talking about?
Listen, let me finish. They're taxing individual Senegalese
Let him
right
finish,
now
man.
to pay taxes, and now people going through hell. But as compared to when Wad was in power, Abdoulaye Wad, he said, well, I'm not going to work with France, but I'm going to work with the Chinese. You have to substitute, you have to work with someone. You cannot work in vacuum. You cannot
Brother, they
tax
got
individual
multiple
African
partners.
to
Yeah, I
say,
don't.
well,
This has
your
nothing to
country
do
going to
with nothing
function.
that the AES is doing. Like I
They
don't.
have
You
multiple
creating a straw
partnerships.
man.
But
Like,
besides
what are you
that,
So
talking about?
you
I'm
just
not
saw
saying I
a
don't
bunch
believe
of
what they're doing.
a bunch of United States representative in these countries, for the past 2 weeks trying to plead. What are you talking
This
about?
is
Senegal
this is.
has
I mean,
Senegal has a bunch of
Archie,
resource. Senegal just
Archie,
discovered oil.
I mean,
What are you talking about? Burkina Faso just did
See,
94 tons of gold.
it's hard to
that's
compete,
what
my
I'm
brother.
saying. When
Look at my country,
someone
Sierra
say that they
Leone.
have oil, you know
What do you?
how long it
Come
takes
on,
to get
look at
offshore
my
drilling.
country. We have a
These are all
democracy in
that
my
in the middle of
country.
the
Bang,
sea. That's what I'm
bang.
telling you.
See,
It costs
see
you a
this
lot of
right.
money to get those oil
What
off
city
the
is right?
sea.
No,
Then
I
how
don't
much
get.
you
See
gonna
this
sell
right,
Look at
it?
my
bang,
country.
bang. You know why I
Hey,
see
guys,
this right, bang.
I gotta pass the mic to Burkina Bay.
Come
But
on,
once
man.
again, City, thank you for the. Hey, if you guys want to Zell me, the
Your
Zell is
head, your
on the
head
screen.
downness, your support
Okay,
channel.
okay.
Yes.
What
Thank
is
you.
your Zelle? Because
Uh,
because once in a
the
while I do
Zell's
come to
on the
your channel.
screen. Is amirdynast@gmail.com. It's on the screen.
Okay. Let me
Yeah. Can
screenshot
I
it
just
because
interject very
I
quick,
guess
Dennis, if you don't
No.
mind,
I
very quick.
want to pass it to Burkina Bay. Then I'll pass it back to you. Go ahead, Burkina Bay.
No problem.
Hey, good day to everybody. Thank you, Dinus, for having me.
No problem.
Yeah. So I wanted to add to what Brother St. James said in the super chat. because he said that the AES was under the process of having our own currency. Okay. So earlier I heard like the Ghanaian brother who said that the AES should be doing it overnight and real quick. Okay. Now, many of you guys probably know about Guinea, who did it in history, like back then when they decided to break from the CFA franc and do it by themselves, right? So they did it overnight, exactly like that Ghanaian brother was saying, okay? But then here's the thing, right? The French people flooded their economy with counterfeit bills, all right? And based on what was reported, right? The counterfeit that they flooded them with was better quality than the original that they created for themselves. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying here, okay? So the actual counterfeit was better quality and looked better than the initial, what they created for themselves so that their people can use, all right? So the reason why I'm bringing this up is to explain to you that the AES need to learn, and obviously they learn from that. You get what I'm saying? And that's what they're taking their time to do a very, very as good of a job as they possibly can, all right? And that means time, all right? It's going to take them the time that is going to take them to do it. And you guys need to understand also that they're doing all of it while having other challenges coming along with it. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say, all right? I can give examples also based on like my experience here in Canada, because we're next door to the United States, okay? We're next door to the United States. For instance, it is a known fact that there is more counterfeit bills with the US dollar than there is counterfeit with the Canadian dollar, because the encryption in the Canadian dollar, like in the bills that we use here, there is more security. The encryption is more like superior, and it's better quality. And that makes it harder, not to say that it's impossible, because I know that there's Canadian dollar counterfeit. It exists, but it's way, way harder than the US dollar. It's better quality than the US dollar. So that's what the
Nobody gives a fuck about Canada, man.
Pardon me?
Nobody gives a fuck about Canada. Nobody.
I'm just,
Also smart.
I'm used.
Also smart, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Also
No,
smart,
but
man.
he
I
was
like you,
just
man.
using it
I
as an
like you.
example.
I'm just saying,
I'm using it as
what the fuck does counterfeit money about America and Canada
He
got
didn't
to
get to
do with
finish.
anything?
He didn't get to finish his point though.
No, I think we're getting an
Oh my
analogy.
God, man.
Yeah, I don't understand what you're talking about, man.
Y'all didn't let him finish his point. That's why.
It don't, he could have kept talking to next week. It wouldn't have made no sense talking about Canada dollar and
No, because
American dollar.
he's saying it because he dude from Ghana earlier made a contention about the currency. He's trying to spell it out right now.
He should have kept it in Africa. Then he didn't have to bring it to the West. Keep going, my brother.
Okay, brother, also smart. I read the comment. I read something somebody commented about you, right? Because earlier you were talking about this other brother who sounded like King George, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. I read the comment. Somebody talked about how you sound, and do you know what I read?
Yes, tell me what they said, bro.
They said you sounded like a Super Bowl game commentator, and that you have no place here,
Yes. I don't have no place here.
He has place here.
The same way that you don't have no place talking about fucking Canada when nobody gives a fuck about Canada at all.
Did you see the hypocrisy of Africans? The same guy that was saying to me, "Oh, don't say that to the Jamaican guy. He's a Jamaican, you know. Just don't say that."
All these current don't eat mad bitches, bro. They ain't got nothing to say about shit, bro. They ain't doing shit.
Smart.
They always talking about West Africa from the West. It's amazing. Just think about that for a second.
Hey man, get y'all money, man.
Hold on. Let me say this one more time. They love talking about West Africa from the West.
You're also smart. It made me laugh to read that, right? the person said that you sounded like a commentator for like a Super Bowl game. Like it literally made me laugh, and it's true because you have the intonation and everything.
Leave this guy
all right?
alone, man. Just focus on what you want to see. Leave me
Hey,
alone.
I'm glad
interrupted the man.
I'm glad that you dig my
Mid-sentence.
swag, bro.
Y'all interrupted the man mid-sentence. Now you trying to rush what he's saying.
No,
If
but
y'all would
just
have
forget
interrupted, it would have
about
been
being
finished.
Super Bowl. We're not playing Super Bowl right now. Just
But y'all,
sit down
the
and
man was
chill.
trying to talk about the currency. Y'all interrupted him and said it didn't have nothing to do with it. So
Canada.
Well,
All right.
that's America too.
Go ahead,
Shit.
Bikini
Why we
Bang.
at it?
Go ahead.
So I used
let him hurry up.
all right. I used Canada as an example to say that the AES is trying to do exactly what Canada did because Canada is slightly better as far as that compared to the United States because counterfeit are very minimized here in Canada. And this is what the
Canada is better
AES
than
are.
the United States.
They're not better.
But don't nobody use the the Canadian dollar.
Bro, y'all are
Everybody
missing
use
his
the American
point.
dollar.
He's saying that they trying to have an encryption on their currency so it can't be counterfeited, bro. Y'all cannot be this dumb, bro.
No, you can
Exactly.
anything that's paper, anything that's man-made, you could duplicate it.
He's not saying, he's just saying it's more difficult to encrypt. They're trying to make it as difficult and impossible to counterfeit, bro. It's that simple, bro. Like y'all can't be this obtuse, bro.
Canada better at everything.
The dollar, man.
Nah, I mean, he just was making a point with the dollar,
dying to
man. Like,
touch
come on.
I see people dying to touch the US dollar. That's what I see everywhere around the world.
That's not his point. They all are missing, but that's not his point, though.
Canada, man. This ain't Drake, man. This ain't.
That's not his point. He wasn't trying to make some value statement of how Canada's good, bro.
Hey, Brother Bang, I don't think he was trying to do that.
Him and Drake made Canada look bad.
Exactly,
all right, guys, let me read this super chat. Aquas Bironi 7058. Thank you for the $5 holla. It's a trap. The CFA is pegged to the euro at a really good exchange rate. The AES currency will cause the economies to collapse. Damn if you do, damn if. Appreciate it.
If you don't, he probably couldn't. He have enough room to put if you don't.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think, I don't know if you guys seen it. I don't know if what the AES going to do about that. But ECOWAS is actually about to launch the ECHO again. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's on the pipeline.
If you want my honest opinion, it's
Yes,
not going to happen. It's just not.
Okay.
It's just not.
Okay. Why do you
Because
think
I
it's not going to
even
happen?
remember the segment that Brother Dynast had with the other brother from Nigeria that was talking about the ECHO. Remember?
Yeah, that was a couple years back. That was like 2-3 years ago.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah, but why all of a sudden they want to bring it back?
No, but what they try. Okay, here's the
Why,
thing.
why all of a sudden they try to act like we're gonna bring it back? Something. Is it because what those three countries are doing to just counter that?
That's exactly what it is.
Let's be fair. I mean, like me, I flee my country because of what? Lack of opportunity. I mean, you ain't overseas. You flee your country because of lack of opportunity as well. So then how can we come
Do you know why I flee my country? You know, I flee my country because of the war.
Exactly. Because of war caused what? Lack of opportunity. That's exactly what it is. Let's be fair now. Okay, you cannot continue Africa the way it is for the past 40 years now. Let's be honest with ourselves. We need some type of change in some ways. We need some type of revolution.
It got to be drastic change, man.
Exactly. If you don't approve it, just sit to the side to the corner.
But what do you mean by drastic change, bro? Be more specific about that.
No, drastic change means if we like it everywhere though, and regardless, like me personally, I'm trying to find a way to where I can enlist in somebody. You feel me, organized, but it's hard if you don't got no direct citizenship to it. But I'm saying us trying to have these lives like people in the West, it can't happen in Africa, bro. Then it has to be radical changes and sacrifice for our generation, probably the next 2 generations, and then that generation after that can live comfortably. But the problem is so bad, bro. Like it's gonna take at least 100 years to make it to where it's livable. Like to where it's like in the West.
I want to say.
Hey, hold on for a second, bang. 1 second, bang. 1 second, bang. 1 second, bang. I like the way you say radical. I think we throw these words out just as vague because radical can mean a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get his spot blew up. That's what I'm trying to.
But some things you can say without, without going too deep. It's simple. It's clear. Unless blood is gonna be shed, nothing is gonna change. Nothing's gonna change.
Yeah, that's
So
facts.
it's gonna have to take a lot. It's gonna have to take a lot of blood on both sides, regardless. It ain't all about winning. You got to send a message, and sometimes you got to send a message with blood. One thing that the colonizers have showed you in the last 600 years, the only thing they respect is bloodshed. That's it.
Exactly.
So if you ain't trying to shed no blood, you get what I'm saying? And your damn sure ain't ready to shed no blood with your toes out. You get what I'm saying? And on top of that, my brother, if any of those three countries, they can't afford to go to war like that, because think about it like this: who do they get their weapon from? So after they, so think about it. If they go to war, most of their weapons come from France. So how they gonna go?
No, that's not true. But I gotta.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying all of their weapons. Some of their weapons did come.
I know, but what I'm
So,
saying.
but hold on for a second. Let me finish. Let me finish. Like, give me 10 more seconds. Give me 10 more seconds. Just give me 10 more seconds. All I'm saying is that if you're gonna go to war with France, what do you think these other countries ain't gonna sell you shit? And on top of that, war is expensive. So that means that all your equipment that you finna use up, you know what I'm saying? That means that the economy is not gonna stop working. So that means that after the war happens, how you gonna build up? How you gonna build back up your military? Who you gonna buy it to? And then if you only have one or two, hey, it was on. I had two seconds left. 2 seconds left. And then on top of that, then if you got to buy it, and you don't have a greater people to buy from, then the people whoever's gonna sell it to you gonna crank it up. If you're not manufacturing that shit yourself, then I pass the mic.
All right, so let me.
How's this smart? Check this out, right?
Hold on. Let me answer what he was saying. They are doing local manufacturing on not on a major scale, on the local scale, and on top of that,
what type of manufacturing? Be specific.
No. Okay. Ammunition, explosives, drones, and vehicles. But they do
what type of vehicles?
Masache, do you think Niger can produce a drone?
I'm tired of debating this, man.
Do you think Niger can produce a drone? What are you talking about?
Let me say this. Hold on. But I didn't get to finish what I was saying. But what I was saying is the way the AS moves, right? They don't move on the offensive. They move on the defensive, meaning that they're not going to sit there and just go attack French. The only thing that would happen if French attacked them.
If you always moving on the defensive, that means you always got your ass in the air.
Do you believe France attacked Niger airport? Why would you believe that?
No, but listen.
Why?
Okay, so let me hold on. Let me respect the city. Hold on.
Why would you believe that?
Hold on.
Listen to me.
Wait. Hold on, city.
What is the benefit of France attacking the airport? Why?
What's the benefit? Why did the
French
took Niger to court?
Hold on. Let me respond to him, right? I'll give you a prime example.
Do you know? Let me tell you one thing. I want to remind you.
Respond.
Let me respond to you. You remember last year in the interview with Tiani, he sat down with the interviewer. He said Benin had French troops in Benin. Everyone called him crazy. Everyone said he was delusional, right? But guess what? When that coup happened recently, back in November, guess what happened, right? There was French troops over there. And on top of that, Macron went there publicly and said that he had something to do with the assistance of helping stopping the coup plotters. So you trying to tell me? So like I said, and the thing about Tiani is, right, what I like about him, he doesn't come out publicly and just says things out of space. He has the information and he's going to relay the information to the citizens and stuff. So he's just not making things up. So if he's saying this, whatever, he knows some information that we don't know on the private side. That's
okay. Let me tell you this, because the way I assess the whole situation, when France attacked.
Well, guys, let me read the super chat first. Aqua Zabroni 1758. Thank you for $5 holla. Hustle Smart is right though. Even the deadliest war wasn't any of the world wars. It was the Civil War to keep the United States together.
I appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate the donation. I appreciate you for recognizing that the truth, man. Even though it's the hard truth, it's the truth. Bloodshed, nothing else will matter unless you're ready to bust somebody's ass. Pause.
Right.
All right, so Masache, when France attacked the airport, I just want to know what are the military strategy that France is using?
Okay,
what are they doing with the airport? Let me tell you. Do you know where Nigerian military and the gendarmerie took a military training? They did all their training in Ivory Coast.
Okay, but they
90%
okay.
of their training in Ivory Coast.
Okay, but
Ivory Coast
city,
has the big general
city,
No,
military
but
barrack
you asked,
for
but you
most of
asked
the
him a
French
question.
speaking countries.
You asked him a question. You got to let him answer.
Okay.
exactly. So okay, so to answer your question, so your first question was right.
Mhm.
You said where they got their training from. As you're aware, yes, they did get their training at one point with Ivory Coast, but for right now, they're getting training from the Russians and stuff, and they're doing other things. And on top of that, they're training their own troops now. Before they used to go outside and get trained. Before, what was the first question? I didn't. What was the first question that
So
you asked me?
I'm saying, what is the military strategy for France to
Okay,
go after the airport, not the palais?
so let me answer that question too, right?
Hmm.
As you know, right? The uranium, right? France was crying about the uranium. They said that though that is our uranium, we want that back. Nigeria's like, okay, you're not getting it back because it's from our land. So they have that dispute, right? France also went and put the image publicly and said this is where the uranium is hiding and this is where the Russians is getting it, right? So and I think it's very mysterious that when France put that information out, maybe like a week or a couple of days later, all of a sudden this attack came out of nowhere. That was not what's his face, this mysterious. That was planned, right?
So the uranium that was at the airport, they said the value is $250 million. Do you think France will go and attack the airport for $250 million
Okay.
uranium?
Okay, so
Now, good
listen,
question.
listen,
Good
so
question.
listen, so listen, so hold on. So listen, so allegedly the plan was this is from an alleged confession from one of the terrorists got arrested, right? Because one of the people who got neutralized was a French DGSE agent that got killed. And if you want to see
A French white guy. He was white.
yeah. If you want to see that image, you can go to Andre TV on Telegram. He has the picture of the French agent that got neutralized. So answer your question, right? So what happened was the French DGSE agent was supposed to go over there. He was supposed to go on the helicopter with the uranium and go to another neighboring country. But what happened was because of the firepower of the air defenses, he wasn't able to get a chance to get any air cover. So that's what happened. That's why they wasn't able to successfully get that uranium.
But, but,
That was the goal, was the
but
uranium.
what was
The
the
thing,
value of the uranium that was at the airport? What was the
No,
value?
it's not about the value of it of the airport because then uranium is
You have to know
it's
the
listen,
West don't fight war.
hold on. Because of you keep defending France. You keep defending France. I don't know why. Now look at about 8 months ago, right? When they caught that spy over there in Mali, right? A 30-year military event. 30 years. He wasn't just some just ordinary people, right? The French CIA came out publicly, approved that he used to work for us. He was a spy agent as well. So obviously you keep trying to defend France, right? Number two, right? The airport. If they would attack the airport, right? They just say you throw like a grenade or somewhere, right? Since it was what you call it a uranium, it would create a disaster, like a explosion, right? And then people that surround that area, they would have like issue with like inhale that stuff, right? So in a defense as if, right, it would have made the Nigerian government look weak if they would have been successful. It was all about trying to make the government look weak as possible. But at the end of the day, France lost. They did not
okay,
achieve that. I'm coming from Sierra Leone. I'm gonna end this real quick, right? I'm coming from Sierra Leone, right? We have gold. Our country has never even showed us how many tons of gold that we produce, right? Burkina Faso, just the end of this year, they put us 94 tons of gold. That's $10 billion. $10 billion. My country has never even come close to that. Our GDP in my country is usually $2 billion. Less than that.
Where you
How can I
getting your number from? $10 billion go from
GDP from
where?
Sierra Leone. GDP from Sierra Leone. What are you
No,
talking about?
I'm talking about
Like,
where is the $10 billion from? Go from
it
where?
came from it came from Westerners.
From
Western
Burkina Faso?
media. No, yes. 10.
This guy.
94 trillion ton. 94
This is
trillion ton.
something that is.
Let's leave it. Let's leave it alone.
90,
Because we finished,
if you don't believe me,
some of our brothers.
if you don't believe me,
See, but
go to your Western media. You see what you've done is now you coming up here act like you don't know what it is. That's what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what you're
Bang,
doing.
bang.
Look
I
at
understand your point.
my
I
country.
understand
We
your
have
point.
gold.
I understand your
I've
point. But
never seen Like, how can I sit here coming from West Africa? You live in the West, I live in the West as well. When a country does such a thing, and then I'm trying to jealous or something like that, what's the cause and effect of it? I mean, you sound like like an elder man. You got kids and family. Your kids and family are not in Liberia. They're in America. Benefit of the American system. But you up here trying to tell people,
listen.
what's the
And then
point of
also
France
too,
doing this? What's the point of France doing this? What
and then
does
also
France
too,
has in their land?
I wanna,
What does
I
France
wanted,
has in their land?
wanted to,
Does France have any gold in their land? Does France have any oil in their land? Does France has any
Yeah,
uranium in their
yeah.
land? Answer that question, man.
I just
No,
want to answer
France
something
taking
to
this
what my
country to
brother
court
said
then?
too, and then also
Yeah.
too, a French journalist came out publicly, and he said that France has a history of destabilizing other African countries, and it's documented. So like
yeah.
for
No,
Tiani to
that's a
come out,
fact.
hold on,
Nobody. That's not the
hold
point of argument.
on, hold on.
The point
Oh, so
is,
now that's a
But
fact. Oh,
listen.
so now that's a
but
fact.
listen though.
Oh, so
So
now
if
that's a
Tiani,
fact.
so hold on. So if Tiani comes out,
Man, this guy's funny.
if Tiani comes out and he's telling you that Ivory Coast, if he's telling you that Benin, he's telling you that France are the sponsors of this
But be
group.
careful. Listen now, big brother,
Listen though,
big brother. Be
hold
careful.
on. But listen though, like I said, he's not gonna go there publicly and just make up something without no evidence and stuff. Like I said, I gave you the proof about what he said about Benin last year about the French troops, and everyone called him crazy. And what happened when that coup happened? France was involved for stopping the coup plotters, and that's a fact.
But Masache, that's not the point right now. Everybody know France destabilized West Africa a lot. But what I'm saying, when anything happen with the military, we have to analyze the situation. What he telling us, does it really make sense to you? Because
Yes,
you can't go with the flow.
listen,
People
I'm not going with the flow because I just told you about the uranium. Like I said, they literally put out the image of where the uranium is located in the airport, and then a
what
couple of
was the
days
value
later,
of the uranium? What's the value?
I'm not. But listen to what I'm saying. They put
Okay,
the
why would
image
a
out,
white guy from France be with these people as well?
and
Answer that
then
question.
city, in city,
City.
Yo,
Answer that question.
Dynast, can I say
Let me add
something
one
to
more thing.
CD?
I'm gonna add one more thing. I'm gonna pause. And
Well,
city,
no,
if you want to keep,
All right.
like the Prince
hold on.
Louis. In fact, Prince, go ahead, Prince Louis, because we got to
All right.
close out. Go ahead, Prince Louis.
Yeah, hello everybody. Sorry, I woke up. I've joined you guys a little bit late. Very appropriate. The subject matter, Dan, as well done. Sticking on your to the ball. Listen, I love the points being made. I think the last time I was on here, I was kicked off the show. I'm not blaming you personally, Dan. I was shouted down by the second coming of Christ in the form of Saint James, who called my people, and I now do as slave drivers. And then I was shouted down by a treacherous woman in the name of V or whatever her name is. This evening, I don't know if you guys
That's a very disgusting thing to say. You come here to make your point and leave it there. That's very rude.
You did shout me down and you was treacherous.
So what makes me treacherous? What makes me treacherous?
I just want to make my point.
Louis,
don't bring my name into it.
Well, get off the panel then. Not your show.
Louis, stick to the topic. Go.
Okay, let me stick to the topic. When I was speaking to you at that very time, at that very hour, actually, a truck drivers, tomato sellers, were in Burkina Faso.
Yeah, I know about they were caught in a terrorist attack.
I'm glad you mentioned that. They were pulled over, okay, and they were shot in cold blood. They had their bodies put onto these trucks and burnt alive.
Hey, Louis, real quick, were they killed or were the military personnel killed?
Well, we've been told that it's terrorists who done it, but they said
I know it was a terrorist attack in Burkina Faso.
There were civilians,
right. There were Ghanaian civilians.
Go ahead.
They go to that place a lot. The number of their thing is known. They're still investigating it fully and so on. They were put on after they were shot. They were put onto the truck and they set the truck ablaze. You can all see it on the YouTube. There are some of us who know the reality, okay, and then there is the fantasy of the world, okay. The reality is that there is no such thing as a bloodless coup. All right. The time that the AES had to really change their course, because they had a good cause and the people was behind them. So all the so-called democratic leaders and the so-called foreign players, who are the white people, they have to hold back, because if they're gone in, they'll make things worse for themselves. So they've waited time. The only people who've got this right so far are the people who are not part of the AES, but who also done a military takeover, and they've elected themselves as so-called civilian, those from military, they've elected a leader who's actually went through the polls. When I mentioned this in the past to St. James, he got mad at me, called me usual slave driver and all this and right, and we will send you running again. If you come to here to Burkina, we're going to send you running. Well, he sent my brothers and sisters running. Okay, so we Ghanaians, we're not going to forget that. Okay, we know the tension. Okay,
Ghana is not going to go to war with Burkina, so get your head down. You're rude, man. You're a very rude person. You come here talking trash, and you expect people to listen to your trash. Ghana is not going to go to war with Burkina.
What's this?
Shut up anyway. Shut up, rude man.
What's going on now? What's going on now, man?
No, let's not do that.
Oh no,
I can't wait for that Russian man. The 400
yes, sister, let Louis speak, man.
I can't wait for that topic, man.
Well, I just want to say to that brother, my Ghanaian brother. I just want to say to my Ghanaian brother, the Ghanaians who got neutralized, right? The Burkina Faso, they went and they neutralized the terrorists that was involved of the killing. Just to let you know,
like I said, the investigation is still going on. Like I said, the investigation is still going on. Okay,
but those terrorists got killed. Just to let you know.
No, I don't have any information on that yet at the moment.
No, I don't know if the terrorists got killed. But.
No, I'm telling you, listen, it's on AS and TV, and I can show you the video. I had the video. They got neutralized.
Master, just stop this. You make everything very simple.
It's funny how all of a sudden the French military is in the butchers of Ghana, right? At the same time, within a week or week and a half, some T group attack regular civilians, Ghanaian civilians as well. Does that wiggle some type of, two and two together as well?
Go ahead, Louis. Then we got to close out. Go ahead, Louis.
What I'm trying to say to you is I'm speaking from experience and my country's experience. I stood in the circle of Accra, 1979, when Rawlings was flying his victory flight over the circle, Accra circle. I saw it with my own bare eyes. When I got to England, we were the first people to fly out when they opened the airport. We flew out in British Caledonia. We've been by from 79 to 82, the reality had hit in. That's when we started getting the murmurs of the Ghana go home, or then the Ghanaians being sacked out from Nigeria. Okay, when they turned up, the country was having a hard time, and Rawlings was up against it. Rawlings was hoping to go to the Arab nations who were promising him a load of nonsense. When he went to them, they had problems. They said, we're going to the IMF. He wanted to go to the IMF. The IMF was saying, you're a military junta, we want this, and that. Okay? By that same time, the Ghanaians had come back. Okay? And all the cocoa that was to be harvested couldn't be harvested because there was nothing left but old people in the village. Okay? Listen to me very carefully, my brothers and sisters. I know we want change. All right? But we still got to work with this white man. Even when you get the change, you're going to have to do it somehow through them. There's the reality. And the reality is you cannot do this through the barrel of a gun. That is not a revolution.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
No, that is not a fact.
My advice. That's a fact.
The Ashantis are the one that betrayed. What's his name? The Ashantis are the one who betrayed it. Who betrayed? What's his name? It was the Ashantis that betrayed that guy. It was the Ashantis.
Brother, let me make my point.
It was the Ashantis.
Okay, brother, let me make my point. Okay.
It was the Ashantis that betrayed him.
Hey, Don, I'm gonna send you the pictures and video on Facebook.
Under the white man, it was the Ashantis that betrayed it.
Brother,
what's his name?
Brother, there is all that men are talking. Okay. There is a dream, and then there's the reality. There is nobody that has fought harder for black independence, who started the independence and been through revolutions better than Ghana. In our revolution,
no. That is a lie.
No,
I don't believe that.
That's
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe
That's
that.
not true.
Because you know why? Because you know why? The guy, the president,
shut up, bro.
the guy that overthrew, what's his name? Y'all named the president, the airport. The airport is named by the same guy that overthrew your hero. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. The same guy that overthrew the same hero that you're talking about. The name of the airport. Y'all give him the name of the airport. Oh man, Ashanti betrayed him. This is what Ashantis are good at. Man, come on, man. That's the same thing y'all Ghanaians trying to do to the AES right now currently. But then y'all pretending, act like y'all not doing it behind closed door. But at the same time, some of y'all come up here and want to blame the Fulanese.
Okay,
Exactly.
can you shut your mouth?
No,
Let me
no,
land.
no, no, not the Ghana, not Ghana
I'm
people,
not.
not
It's
Ghana,
facts.
not Ghana.
It's facts. It's facts.
You should be
It's
muting this guy.
facts.
Okay? You
No,
should be
bang,
muting
bang.
this guy.
I can't wait for tomorrow, man. I can't wait for the Ghana, what you call it, man? The Ghana, what you call it, topic, man. 400 women, Ghanaians. Oh my God. Oh, I can't wait for that, man.
Will you shut your mouth, you piece
I
of
can't
shit?
wait for that.
You
I
sound
can't
like
wait
a
for that, man.
bitch. No wonder why people
400,
shut you down.
400 accounts.
You're an idiot.
400 accounts, man. All they do is just
Shut your
white man,
mouth
yes.
and listen.
White man, yes. White man, yes.
Shut your mouth and listen.
400 of your
Kwame
women.
Nkrumah was an
400 of
account.
your women. No,
All the
Kwame Nkrumah
Ben,
was
stop
betrayed.
this, man. Ben,
Kwame
stop,
Nkrumah was
stop.
betrayed by
Ben,
Ashantis.
Ben,
The Ashantis betrayed Kwame Nkrumah.
Ben,
The
stop.
Ashantis betrayed Kwame Nkrumah.
Left arm.
See exactly what it is. No, I ain't left out.
Sounded like
No,
a
I ain't
bitch
left
on a
out. No.
fucking period.
No.
But left arm.
The Ashantis betrayed
It's
Kwame
my
Nkrumah.
turn to speak.
Kwame Nkrumah.
This is not
The
an
same
Ashanti
guy that
war.
betrayed Kwame Nkrumah.
This is not an Ashanti war.
The airport.
Shut
The
your mouth
airport.
and listen.
At National Airport.
Shut your mouth
Make it
and
make
listen.
sense. And then you want to tell us
Shut
about
your mouth
black
and
unity?
listen.
You
It
want
is
to tell us
my
about
turn.
black unity? You want to come
Man,
and tell us about black unity? You want to tell us about black unity? You want to come and tell us about black unity? You want to come and tell us about black unity?
Hey guys, let me read this. Let me read this super chat. Philly Yard Vibes 808. Thank you for $4.99. Holla, Lewis is a plant. You are Judas.
Right.
Ben, stop. Let him talk. It's time.
Can I just land before this man on his period goes out of hand?
Yeah. Go on. Ben, na for left arm, there.
Nah. There is
the dream, and there's the reality.
Well, come and tell us about blackness.
This is the reality. A man who's from the northern Ghana, who's part of the people from the Burkina Faso, who was our defense leader.
Kwame Nkrumah was betrayed by the Ashantis.
Shut your mouth, you bitches.
Kwame Nkrumah was betrayed by the Ashantis. The Ashantis were mastered at slave trade.
What year are we in?
Kwame Nkrumah was betrayed by the Ashantis as well. How do you name an airport a guy that was betrayed by the same guy that you said is a hero to the black nation?
Ashantis rule. Ashantis rule.
Make it make sense then. It's the same Ashantis
we were the strongest. We were the strongest in Black Africa, not your people.
Right now, using fines in their bushes. Exactly.
We can have all the French we want.
Exactly. Make it make sense.
We love France.
Y'all
What's
Ghanaians
the
are good
problem?
at exposing Nigerians.
Yes, we love
but
France.
y'all, oh man, you guys
We
are
love
worse.
France.
At least
shut your mouth.
At least
And
Nigerians
listen.
say what they are. But y'all can't. Nah. Y'all try to disguise
Hey, it's my
man.
turn to
How
speak.
do you?
It's my turn to speak, you piece of shit. It's my turn to speak, you period. It's my turn to speak.
You didn't listen.
It's my turn to speak. I come from the most successful African country in West Africa. Not you, you piece of shit.
That is a lie.
Shut your mouth and listen.
That is a lie.
Shut your mouth and listen.
The British gave y'all Ghana. The British gave y'all Ghana. The British
gave
y'all Ghana. The British gave y'all Ghana. The British gave y'all Ghana. The British gave y'all Ghana. You guys did not fall for it.
Africa, stop your brother, man. What's wrong with this guy? I tried, boys. Listen to me, man.
400 women.
Yeah, please.
Women. Exactly.
No,
brother Daniel, I'm gonna send you the pictures on Facebook.
They always think that everybody is against AES. We're just trying to tell people to be careful.
Right?
To
Can't
be supporting like that.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this psychophancy business, man. I'm tired.
This is the reason why
Africa.
This is the reason why
we have all this gold.
Shut your mouth for 2 minutes.
All this gold.
Shut your period, bitch.
Where's that gold at? Ashanti.
But let me talk to man. Let me talk.
Your own gold reserve. It was Burkina Bay that forced you to have gold reserve. It was Burkina Bay that forced you to have your gold reserve now. Exactly what it is, man.
Well, let me know
exactly
when you
what it is. The Ashantis betrayed Kwame Nkrumah, so he's not your hero.
All right, don't worry now. We know that, Ben.
With the airport.
Ben, we know that now. So give this guy a chance when he finish.
Change the name of the airport, and I have respect for
you. This is how our people are. Our people are so hot-blooded.
That white guy, 400 Ashantis and Akans. Oh my God. Oh, I'm white.
Okay.
Just come sleep with me.
Look, but Al.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to see the pictures and video, like I said, go to Andre TV. Click on the
Nah,
Telegram.
forget that
You
guy,
see
man.
all. You see
I
all the
believe you.
pictures. You see all the
Dennis,
videos.
I believe you. Manta, I believe you, Manta.
The Andre guy is a tribalist guy. What he's doing, he's trying to connect the Fulanis
Dennis,
as a T
you
group
got
over
to
there.
shut
The
this
Andre guy
this idiot for
it's a
1 minute.
Nigerian guy.
Wait.
He's
All
tribalist.
right,
He's tribalist.
let Louis speak uninterrupted for a minute.
Please.
Go ahead, Louis.
Please tell that particular guy, okay, that you're not working in conjunction with him to wind people up on your show. Because your show is a serious show, okay? You bring up good subjects, but if you're not going to be fair and you're going to let bitches like him just loud their mouth of when he comes from a failed nation.
Ashanti.
Okay? And nobody knows who
The British gave y'all Ghana. The British gave y'all Ghana. I know what the reason why they gave y'all Ghana. Come on now.
What country do you come from, brother?
You say I don't beg you, bro.
Let me address him.
No. I'll tell these Ghanaians act like they like the pinnacle of what
the host of the show just told you to stop.
Man, to unite
Africa.
man. You guys
All right,
are trying to unite Africa.
Hold on. Louis, listen. You got a minute. Stick on topic, Louis. Don't address anybody.
Bro, this guy stop interrupting me. If you want me to leave the show, I'll leave the show.
I didn't say leave the show, Louis. I just said you got a minute.
Okay, then I'll leave the show.
Huh? I said stick on topic. Oh, okay. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. But the next time, family, Danfo Africa, search for a real peace.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Danfo offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.